stand, a ghost among the far-off lands, survive against the fire and the cold. Walking the deepest of footprints, step into the fog, breaking the silence, abandoning song on the trail of the ancients. The demons awake at the end of all evil. The battleground shakes to the sound of the metal. The splinters of bone in a war with the storm, and the soldiers of stone as the vessel of guardians. I'll follow along with the words of the wise and the way of the strong. I'll follow, step into the fire. I'll follow, a threatening song. I'll follow, we'll carry it alive. I'll follow, the way of the strong. Mountains moving as night falls. In the shadows I hear demons crawl. No fear of death, just fear of something worse. The power comes from the west, unturning all the dead that rest. So holding on to the burdens of their curse. Walking the deepest of footprints, step into the fog, breaking the silence, abandoning song on the trail of the ancients. The demons awake at the end of all evil. The battleground shakes to the sound of the metal. The splinters of bone in a war with the storm, and the soldiers of stone as the vessel of guardians. I'll follow along with the words of the wise and the way of the strong. I'll follow, step into the fire. I'll follow, abandoning song. I'll follow, we'll carry it alive. I'll follow, the way of the strong. One golden mile, also too fast, taken by a madman, trapped within the deepest of this cursed land. They'll scatter when I rise again. The spirit keeps the focus, even when the battle's hard to hold it. In the deepest of footprints, step into the fog, breaking the silence, abandoning song on the trail of the ancients. Demons awake at the end of all evil. The battleground shakes to the sound of the metal. The splinters of bone in a war with the storm, and the soldiers of stone as the vessel of guardians. I'll follow along with the words of the wise and the way of the strong. I'll follow, step into the fire. I'll follow, abandoning song. I'll follow, we'll carry it alive. I'll follow, the way of the strong. I'll follow, step into the fire. I'll follow, abandoning song. I'll follow, we'll carry it alive. I'll follow, the way of the strong.
Of all the trees that grow so fat, o'er England to adorn, greater are none beneath the sun than oak and ash and thorn. Sing oak and ash and thorn, good sirs, all at a midsummer's morn. Surely we'll sing of no little thing, and oak and ash and thorn. You that is old in churchyard mold, he breedeth a mighty bow. Alder for shoes do wise men choose, and beech for cups also. But when you have killed and your bowl it is filled and your shoes are clean outworn, back you must speed for all that you need to oak and ash and thorn. Sing oak and ash and thorn, good sirs, all on a midsummer's morn. Surely we'll sing of no little thing, and oak and ash and thorn. Sing oak and ash and thorn, good sirs, all on a midsummer's morn. Surely we'll sing of no little thing, and oak and ash and thorn. Elm she hates mankind and waits till every gust be laid, to drop a limb on the head of him that anyway trusts her shade. But whether a lad be sober or sad or mellow with ale from the horn, he'll take no wrong when he lieth along neath oak and ash and thorn. Sing oak and ash and thorn, good sirs, all on a midsummer's morn. Surely we'll sing of no little thing, and oak and ash and thorn. Sing oak and ash and thorn, good sirs, all on a midsummer's morn. Surely we'll sing of no little thing, and oak and ash and thorn. Oh, do not tell the priest our plight, for he would call it a sin. But we've been out in the woods all night, a conjuring summer in. We bring you good news by word of mouth, good news for cattle and corn. Sure as the sun come up from the south by oak and ash and thorn. Sing oak and ash and thorn, good sirs, all on a midsummer's morn. Surely we'll sing of no little thing, and oak and ash and thorn. Sing oak and ash and thorn, good sirs, all on a midsummer's morn. Surely we'll sing of no little thing, and oak and ash and thorn.
kiss of deadly silence has been placed upon my skin. For the code we're bound to follow, you have led my last crusade. Now we're swallowed by the city as it fades. I will shield you from the darkness when the walls around us quake. I will hold back all the monsters until my bones begin to break. And when I've lost, I'll have to leave you, and the tears that fall like rain. If I'm taken by the shadows, I will spare you from the pain. Requiem for sunlight, hide away now from the dark. To breathe the anger deep is calling, tearing me apart. Somehow the whispers do command me when the abyss has taken hold. Now carry on in glory when I grow cold. I will shield you from the darkness when the walls around us quake. I will hold back all the monsters until my bones begin to break. And when I've lost, I'll have to leave you, and the tears that fall like rain. If I'm taken by the shadows, I will spare you from the pain. Foolishly I let the darkness creeping. In this restless room my soul is bleeding. I confess to you that dark has taken me prisoner. I am corrupt beyond any rescue. I've forsaken my vow to protect you. Oh, when these horrors face the father of the sinister. If the fight's over, I will sacrifice my mind, just to know you'll still be breathing when the years have been unkind. So continue on without me, guard my body and my fame. Keep a watch over the wasteland when the world forgets my name. I will shield you from the darkness when the walls around us quake. I will hold back all the monsters until my bones begin to break. And when I've lost, I'll have to leave you, and the tears that fall like rain. If I'm taken by the shadows, I will spare you from the pain.
Morning, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Realm Weavers.
Hello.
Good morning.
So, as you can see, Dottie is not currently here. She is going to attend the session. It's just she's late. She's at an appointment right now. So, we're going to go ahead and say that she's off dottying in the gardens. while waiting for everyone to conclude their business, essentially.
Painting all the roses red.
Norna, Patrick, and Mason.
Good morning.
All right, so last we left off, Winston, Dottie, and Lorsan were waiting in the guest chambers. No. Sorry. Not Winston. Lorsan and Dottie were waiting in the guest chambers. Grimshaw and Lorsan, Dottie, and Lyrian. There's a lot of characters to keep track of. Are waiting in the guest chambers. Grimshaw and Sealdre are kind of like wandering the streets and encountered an interesting bit of news. Troxel is currently in a meeting with his father, and Bernard. We'll get to Bernard in a second.
Bernard got lost in the woods.
Alright, let's see here. Up. Scroll up. Okay. So, Troxel. You sit down across your father and he says, "Now then. Why have you returned, Troxel? You said that you wanted to travel the world and learn as much as you could of magic. And I asked you..."
Oh, this is just temporary. We're passing by, basically. Since I left...
Halt, wait.
I left, I was...
Wait.
Could,
what do you
I
mean?
knew and could
Troxel.
cast-
Troxel. He's saying to wait. So, before you continue, he cuts you off and says, "What do you mean we?"
I have a group that I've been traveling with. Adventurers that I picked up, or they picked me up. And it,
Okay, so trading the word adventure for travelers.
right, travelers. We've been going across the country. What I wanted to tell you most about, though, in my travel, I've gone from a first-tier magic user.
You're muffled.
I've gone from a first-tier magic user to I can cast second and third-tier spells, and I'm hopeful in my additional travels that I will be able to gain even more access to higher-level spells.
Okay, once again, you have to remember that this is, they don't use the term magic user or tier spells or anything like that in this world.
What do they use?
They explain, like, I'm able to cast more advanced form magic, or, like, I've learned a thing or two about it. It's not difficult for me to cast lower grade magic anymore.
Right, okay.
That kind of stuff, so.
Okay. But what I really wanted to tell you about is that in my travels, I had 3 encounters with the Knights of Reckoning. The first encounter was, as I had viewed them as a terrorist. The person was trying to burn down a warehouse, but the person had magical plate mail on, and we were unable to stop the person from doing his terrorist activities. Second of all, we ran into a village where the necromancer of the Knights of Reckoning was attempting to gain control of the population using sleep derivation. My group of travelers killed that necromancer, but in the process I found that he had a magical staff. And then the third group was multiple knights. They all had magic armors, magic weapons, and magic armor. So my point is that these are not a group of terrorists. These are a group of well-financed revolutionaries who are absolutely against the king.
We are well aware of that.
Speaking of the king, in my 1 month of travels, I only ran into one person who had direct access to the king, and that was a tax collector. The king is absent in the land, except that the commoners react in both fear and poverty towards the high tax rates and the restrictions on travel and other controls. I don't believe that status quo can last, and I believe that over the long term, we are going to have possibly revolution within our country. So that said, one of my group of travelers is cursed, and I would like James to see if he can get rid of that curse, and I have another one that needs a warrant of magic, and then I came back to resupply also. The roads basically aren't safe. I don't believe that they're patrolled as well. I was robbed in the first week of my travels when I reached an island. By the way, the Portwells were very gracious in their accommodations towards me in the areas that I was basically traveling in the Portwell area. That's basically all I have to say, I guess.
Have you wrote all this in a report?
Yes, I did.
Good. Then you will hand the reports to me.
I did that. Do that.
Kind of like drops it onto the desk and goes, now then, let's take this one by one. First of all, we are well aware that they are terrorists. They're not terrorists, but they're revolutionists. We're doing everything we can to keep the populace from freaking out and from joining their side as much as possible.
Well, it'd be nice if I
Do
was
not
told
interrupt
that.
me, Troxel.
Oh, sorry.
Now then, assuming you have not forgotten your etiquette among these rabble that you've traveled with, he goes on to explain that you're wrong. They have been sending out forces. However, many of them have been either killed or driven back by massive amounts of bandits and demi-humans and Knights of Reckoning. They have been spread thin because there's so many places they need to go. It is a very big kingdom. They do not have the manpower for this. And
Where?
you're not there, Trailblazer.
I know.
But again, yes, yeah, so he's saying that their armies and soldiers have been spread thin. They are doing everything they can to handle everything, but there's just too many factions, too many guilds, too many organizations, too many enemies in basically every direction for this kingdom. Furthermore, he explains to you that the royal guard, the royal king, his private army is mostly in the capital, keeping him safe. Thirdly, he tells you that, well, listen, we can't help the civilians unless we take care of ourselves first. So we're going to prioritize the core kingdoms, and then once we start getting everything moving, we can then help the people on the outskirts. But we can't help them until we can help, us first. He tells you you can speak to James if you'd like. He's in the temple. You'll have to go talk to him about that. But then he asks you a couple of questions. Number one, he asks you if you know which knight you spoke to.
I do not.
Okay.
They did not introduce themselves to me.
He then asks you if you know if you can tell him anything else about this individual who had magical armor on that you couldn't defeat over on the island. Which, by the way, he points out.
On the island, he initially looked like a terrorist. He had robes over his magical armor, but it was actually after we engaged we found out that he had magical armor on him, and he escaped. So I have no more information on that.
Makes notes of what you said. Let me see here. Okay, he tells you, well, speaking of the Knights of Reckoning, they've been making more attacks lately. I have a report here that tells me that on the road from Briar Glen, there is an assault on the tax collector. This assault states that his entire caravan was burned down, he and all of his guards were slaughtered, and that there's evidence that it was the Knights of Reckoning who did this.
Oh no.
I have no clue. He must have been after. I
After-
assume there's not more than one tax collector on there. That
How terrible.
No,
must have been after.
don't
Yeah.
even Amy.
But let me just say about the tax collector. When we came up on the tax collector was being assaulted by an owl bear. And our group of travelers helped the 4 guards take out the owl bear. And as soon as we did, the tax collector, instead of saying, well, thanks for your help, said, well, you used magic.
I'm going to stop you right there. Between your knowledge of Alverdan, your knowledge of the system, and your etiquette, you know not to bring this up. Because that's just expected.
Oh, it's expected?
Yeah.
Okay. Then I won't bring it up.
Especially since the more you delve into that subject, the closer you get to the concept of, this group of yours was disgruntled, you said. Just before they left, and after that, oh, okay, quite suspicious. No. Your character would not delve too much into the tax collector, at least in this instance.
Okay.
Implication.
But yeah, so what he tells you is that not only was it burned down, but the guards and the tax collector were slaughtered, and that there's evidence that it was the Knights of Reckoning. Furthermore,
I have no knowledge of that.
he says that he has another report that says the village of Hythe was taken and is now under the control of the Knights of Reckoning. And he tells you that that means that they're getting bolder, and that not only is it clear to him that they're planning to make moves soon, but a move like this is probably going to have the king take some kind of action soon.
Again, that's beyond both my local knowledge and my ability to make decisions on this, because, again, as you know, I was not interested in...
Oh, I am very well aware of that, Troxel. I am very, very well aware of what route you chose to take. He kind of like sighs and just goes, situation's not as simple as you believe it to be, Troxel. And if you had stayed, and if you actually took time to understand the political side of things, you'd understand that there's not only all these internal disputes that we have going on right now that we have to worry about. If you recall, we don't have the nicest of relationships with our neighbors. We have held a truce for so long, but it's different now. According to the border reports, our neighbors have grown unusually quiet, and that's actually concerning us.
Is there any interest in perhaps our group as we traveled to go outside of Alverdan and just as a type of reconnaissance, or is that being taken care of already?
It's being taken care of. He's letting you know what they know right now. So he explains to you that the Dovka chose Vek, the kingdom off to the... Pull up the map. Off to the northeast of the country, the place that is swarming with demi-humans that basically rule over that place in various tribes and clans. They've been making more and more attacks lately, and the border patrol there had given a personal note that to him it feels like they're testing the borders and testing their defenses, indicating a possible future invasion from them. On top of that, this is the best. He just goes like, "Oh, and this is my favorite," he says sarcastically, as he explains that the Coral Divide, the island countries below their kingdom, they have they have ceased trades with them due to increased pirate activities, and thanks to the increased conflict on the coast borders, because that's where the Knights of Reckoning are strongest right now. So we don't even have trade coming in from the south.
Again, That's beyond my state of knowledge or ability to
No, I'm aware.
interact.
I'm aware, Troxel. I just want you to understand exactly how much is going on, so the next time you come over to complain about the borders and patrols and how safe the roads are, you understand exactly what we're trying to struggle with.
Okay.
You opted out of politics. You chose to be a spellcaster instead of doing your duties as a nobleman. So I don't want you to complain about how this kingdom is run.
I totally agree. I have no complaints. I was just giving information to you. I thought I was giving information to you, but you clearly knew what I was. You clearly had the information that I was giving you.
I have to. That's how you run a kingdom.
Oh, he sounds like a swell guy.
Papa Giorgio got mad.
Is there anything else you wish to discuss, Troxel?
No, thank you very much. I'll probably be gone by tomorrow, but I'm going to resupply and get those things done as we talked about. I'm going to go over and see James and see if we can get the curse lifted.
Indeed.
But it's good to see you. I'm glad to see you. I'm going to say hello to the rest of the family, and then I'll be on my way again.
He takes a moment to sigh and let out some of the stress, and he goes, "It's good to see you're safe, Troxel. Just try to stay out of trouble. There's only so much I can do."
Oh, thank you. I've been trying to avoid trouble.
With that,
I'll
he
make
waits
my
to
way-
dismiss you.
Make my way out of the.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then I guess I'll go and tell the rest of the party who's staying in the rooms what's happening, and then I'm going to go and try and find James and Sheldray and get that curse removed.
All right. Speaking of, Grimshaw, you, Sealdray, and the poor, unfortunate soul you got with you. You're in the middle.
Hang on. I gotta remember what I did last time. My brain. I'm in a fog right
You
now.
found out about the cartel/mafia group, and
Ah,
Yeah.
yes.
Oh yeah, you wanted to talk to them.
Yes.
while you're having this chat with them, you hear a familiar voice behind you. Bernard?
Hey guys.
Jesus Christ, where have you been?
I got a little sidetracked, and I decided to make a more secure, safer route through the into the city. And I learned magic users and people of my station aren't. Hey, wait! Before I said magic users, did anybody around me that can hear that?
Just you, Grimshaw, Sealdray, and the poor innocent soul they have. Which, by the way, when you mention magic user, they're just like, "Oh gosh, no."
Are they afraid of magic users or something?
Buddy, let me tell you something. I'm more dangerous than he is right now.
He's going like, "Look, I just don't want to be. Magic users are bad news in this kingdom. I just don't want to be around them."
Well, the faster we get to where we're supposed to be going, faster you can be on your merry way.
He's like, "Can't I just give you the directions?"
Unlike some of my colleagues, I am completely blind in this city. Directions aren't my thing. A tour guide, on the other hand, wouldn't go remiss.
It's like, if they catch me leading someone there, then I and my family are going to be in big trouble with them. Please don't make me.
So, where are we going?
Poor guy.
Seriously, like he's stuck between a rock, a hard place, and a furnace.
And Grimshaw.
Grimshaw would be the furnace.
Ooh. Buddy, I'll make sure they take care of you. After all, we're going to talk actual business with them. And I'm sure they'd at least let somebody off the hook who brought them good tidings.
He's just looking at you and going, I honestly don't know whether you're being genuine or not. And I really don't want to take the chance.
So, who are we going to talk to?
A couple of friends from down below.
You look over at the guys are going like,
talking, are these the guys I met, or these, is this the cartel?
You know them?
No,
the dude's
I
just
don't-
like, you know them?
I don't know the cartel. I was, actually, by some friends I made along the way, I was advised to stay clear of the cartel.
Yes, yes, excellent idea. How about we just walk away and pretend we didn't meet each other?
Interesting. They give you reasons why?
Well, they have a tendency to put people into debts they can't pay off, and pretty much put them into slavery, forced servitude.
Oh, and don't forget how certain accidents happen to businesses that don't
Yeah,
do what they want.
they like to do the racketeering, little protection rackets going on.
No, not protection rackets. Just like, hey, don't do this. If you do, then we're going to make problems for you.
Yeah.
Yes,
yeah,
listen, a protection racket is protecting people from the.
Oh, gotcha. I thought it meant like protection from other gangs or whatever.
I mean, theoretically you would, because if another gang does try and move in on you, it's, hey, we're gonna protect you from them taking money, but at the same time, it's like, no, you're really just being protected from us by paying us. And trust me, we can do a lot more damage.
I was advised that I want to steer clear from them.
Well, we need people. We need boots on the ground. We need people.
I might know people.
In the how? You haven't known anyone since we walked in here.
How do you think I got in? I can't talk about them because but I can make some inquiries to see if they might want to be willing to talk to you.
Well, are these mutual friends of ours already?
They can be persuaded to be friends of ours.
Get the feelers out.
What,
Don't know why.
What would you want? What would you want from them?
Business. See, there are two things that we're doing here. A, we're starting up proper trade routes. And B, we're passing along information. Any information in the underground is good information, right?
Yeah.
Especially doctored information. And if you... So, I'd like to do business with them.
Well, since you guys have a plan already, how about you just let me go and...
Where did I go? Oh, I'm here.
Letting you go.
Please?
So where would be the fun in that?
I'm not gonna do anything. Just wanna go home.
I'm so sad Lorthan's not there. He would totally jump in on this chaos.
What do you think, Ciodre? You've seen us all together.
She just kind of looks at him and she goes, She kind of looks around real quick and she goes, "Hey Grimshaw, how about you use?" She kind of looks like points over and goes, "How about you use that that part of the wall right there as a demonstration of what would happen if he gives anything away."
Oh no.
Hmm?
We're gonna break something. And I am
Goodbye,
all
wall.
for it. Yeah, goodbye, wall.
No, not the whole wall.
Oh, I know. But we all know the efficacy of how Grimshaw not holding back.
Well, see,
Do I need to roll for
keep in
this?
keep in mind, she's pointing at not like a brick wall, but like a part that looks like it was made via cement or something of the means like that. So it's solid stone as opposed to built like put together stone. So, and
Right.
yes, roll a strength
It's still
check.
gonna break either way.
That is a 19 plus whatever I have for strength. 19.96, I think. Not 96, 76. One of them.
Dust flies as you not only make a hole in it, it cracks the rest of it, and most of that part of the structure has been destroyed.
Goodbye,
You
wall.
never saw us, kid.
Now roll an intimidation check.
Aww. After that
with a-
performance, does he really have to roll for
With a plus
intimidation?
50.
Oh wait, that's it. That is a 2d10s. G100 as we're...
Oh, come on.
I am fear. So, before it was a 73. So after was a 123? Yeah, 123.
Oh boy.
Yeah, he paled. It looked like he might have shit his pants. And then he
might be
faints.
Oh, there we go. There's
She looks up at you and goes, "I think we're good."
I think he's gonna be waking up with amnesia.
She's like, "Oh, that's even better."
Alright, well, let's go have Bernard meet our other friends in low places, because it doesn't seem like
Let me make the. Let me go see if they'd be interested in talking first. I want, because they don't want to be known by anybody. So.
till then, shall we go meet our other friends that we need to go meet?
Also, did you guys ever get to meet Lazar Costello?
Nope.
You guys know where he is?
Can't say we do. If we knew where he was, we'd probably have found him by now.
Well, I got information about who we might want to ask. Ask it if we want to know where he is.
Interesting. Well, the good news is that we can actually probably find him from here. Or at least have a destination of where he might be. So let's go with that after, we can use that after we get out of the city.
They're actually in the city.
Even better. Just, for the time being, keep that under your head until a little bit more of our business is wrapped up here.
Okay.
All right. Troxel.
Yes?
As you're heading out, and Lorsan, are you going with him?
Yeah, might as well.
All right. So Troxel, you, Lorsan, and Lyrian are heading out. As you do so, what's his name? Hold on. There we go. You see Rukum again, the steward, as he goes, Lord Troxel, a moment. I have a message from not message, there's a letter that one of the commoners had left for us, and he hands it to you, as he explains that, it was given to them for, like, the head of the, like, your father, but the father, like, when he heard who gave it, he just dismissed it and just said to ignore them. But essentially, what the letter and what the person is saying is what the letter says is essentially, my father had served in the armory and he's really sick. He wishes to speak to anyone in the Kandal house before he passes away. And he says he said that it's been ignored thus far. He wanted to see if you would go and speak to him.
Yes, I'm gonna go. I'll go to the armory. And then
No, not
I'll
the
tell
armory.
Luke
Not the armory. He's in the housing district. It's a common.
the housing district.
Yeah, it's not a nobleman.
I'll go to
It's
the
a-
housing
yeah.
district. Following the directions of the letter, but I'll tell Rukum that I'm leaving. Our group is planning to leave tomorrow morning, and I'd like if he could be resupplied with the appropriate food and stuff that I need. I guess I bought a cloak, but get resupplied and I'll let Lorsan. Do we need anything in terms of our travels?
Let me see. I don't think we have any rations, so we probably need to gain rations before we leave.
Okay, so I'll mention.
Or, well, not
the list.
Lorsan, but the rest of y'all.
I know. I'll give a list for rations and some other things that I'll remember, and then I'll thank him, and then we'll go out and let's see if we can find Sheldray and go over to to see James at the temple.
All right.
And if we can't find Sheldray,
Sheldray.
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 Then I'll go. Sheldray.
Sheldray, not Sheldray. Sheldray.
Sheldray.
There you
Okay.
go.
I'll go and see if I can find Sheldray. And if I can't, then I'll go into the housing district and see if I can meet the person before his father dies, or meet the father before he dies. See what's happening.
Troxel, roll an intelligence check as you attempt to find your companions in this town that you are very knowledgeable about.
18.
There you go. You quickly identify the route that they're most likely taking, and it's not long before you eventually stumble across Grimshaw, Sheldray, and oh look, Bernard's with them too.
Good. Okay. I'll tell them what has happened and ask Sheldray, do you want to Sheldray, do you want to go over and see my brother James at the temple and see if we can remove the curse?
You see a little bit of hesitance and a bit of pensiveness as she kind of like looks in the direction of the temple and then looks to presumably her tween, and she goes, yeah, we can try that, I guess.
Okay. So I'll lead her and the rest of the party, I hope, over to the temple. Go in, ask for James. I assume we'll be taken to him. I'll commiserate, not commiserate, I'll greet him and tell him a little bit about what I've been doing, ask him what he's been doing. Is everybody else okay? And then
Okay, slow down, buddy. Slow down. Slow down. Don't jump ahead of me, buddy.
One step at a time, we're doing this on a dime.
So you guys eventually reach the temple. Temple looks pretty, it's pretty big, extravagant. You see a lot of decorations, a lot of them statues. They have stained glass windows. Like, it's a beautiful, beautiful structure. And walking inside, it's just as beautiful and grandiose. You see various clerics, people are worshiping at different altars or shrines. That kind of thing.
By the way, I never understood, what god does James represent?
God worship. Sorry, not God. James worships the overall pantheon of the of your kingdom. Not any one god, but like all the gods of that pantheon.
Okay. So that's a temple for everybody then.
Yes. And from what you can tell, he's speaking to the archbishop over on the dais.
Okay. Well, I'll go over.
All right, so he she kind of like wave at him. He goes, "Oh,
Okay,
Pardon
I'll
me.
wait till he's finished.
Well, no, like he kind of like looks at her and just does this, and she does the same thing, and he walks over to you and says, "Troxel, you're back.
James,
That was a short trip."
I'm just stopping off for the day, but this is Cieldre, and she's been cursed, and I was wondering if you could do something to remove that curse.
I can certainly do my best. What kind of curse is it, may I ask?
It's a very unique curse. The members in her party are at a disadvantage whenever they're in conflict. So I don't know how to explain that in non-dice terms, but
Grimshaw, you want to try explaining her curse?
It's like if all good luck happened to her, and everyone else is clearly suffering from bad luck.
Yeah.
okay.
Just immediately around an area about 40, 50 feet maybe of just sheer bad luck around her.
It's pretty accurate.
Which is hilarious for me, because as long as you don't do things on luck, it kind of works out.
He just kind of like frowns and goes, "Oh, that does not seem pleasant for you at all." She goes, "No, not really."
It's hilarious for me.
She actually cracks a tiny smile at that. And he just goes, "Well, I can certainly do my best to release this curse from you." So he's kind of like takes her hands, puts a hand on her shoulder, and he starts entering the prayers. He casts a spell, remove curse. He finishes and he looks up at her and goes, "Do you feel any different?" And he doesn't notice it. You guys want to roll an intelligence or wisdom check?
Yeah, I'll roll an intelligence check.
I rolled a 4.
I rolled
didn't
an
see
11.
things.
This lollipop keeps stabbing me in the mouth.
Gee, I wonder why.
Got down to one of the claws.
Dang. I got 3.
Ow. Actually,
Lorsan, what'd you get?
Ooh, 1 second. You said intelligence or wisdom, right?
Yeah, of your choice.
Okay. I'm choosing wisdom, so that's a 13.
Okay. Alright, so there she kind of like looks off to the side, like flickers just a little bit and goes, No, I don't feel any different. And she goes, I'm sorry. He explains that he's only recently been able to start banishing curses, and he is still growing in his faith and devotion to his deities. He tells you that this may be a curse that's beyond his power, and that it may be something different. And the Archbishop is just kind of like she's just watching off to the side, waiting for you guys to finish. But she's just like, "That's okay. Thank you for trying."
Let me. Can you or I ask the Archbishop James?
He says, "Yes, we can. Just make sure you give her the proper, respect."
Of course.
Okay,
Do I know her? Have I met?
You know of her. You're too busy focusing on magic to actually properly meet her. Let me go ahead and describe her real quick. So she has silvery white hair. She has pale ivory skin. She has a very slender and graceful build. She has blue eyes. She actually has an intricate blue pattern of blue tattoos of ancient religious symbols on her arms, as well as a subtly pointed, enigmatic smile. She's wearing elaborate robes of deep burgundy adorned with golden thread.
Even though I've met her, I'll let James introduce me again.
Yep. So her name is Eleniara Fallheath. Yeah. Eleniara Fallheath. There we go.
Good afternoon, Archbishop.
She gives a slight
Eleniara.
bow. She goes,
And,
"Good morning, Troxel."
Good morning. I have a problem. We have a problem in our group. We have our person, Cieldre, seems to be cursed. Bad luck follows the members of the party when she's around. And I was asked James to remove the curse. He seems to have been unsuccessful in that. I was wondering if you might do us the honor of removing the curse.
She looks over to Cieldre and goes, "Well, here's my first question. Are you certain it's a curse?" I don't...
The only thing Cieldre can do is explain what it is.
Which she clearly does not feel comfortable going into more detail about it with these people.
Oh, is that right? Okay. Well, I'll explain it as best I can.
Okay.
Nobody's. What if well, if it's not a curse, what could it be?
Well, first of all, Troxel, if I remember correctly, Troxel does know about the tween's existence, correct? Not just that it's bad luck?
I'm sorry, what tween's existence?
Apparently not.
He doesn't remember it.
He doesn't remember then. But no, his character would remember. So, the whole reason that this is affecting her is because a tween attached itself to her. Tween is an ethereal creature that requires a host to survive. And in return...
Did I know that? Did I know that then?
That's what I'm wondering. I thought your group explained that to you, but did you guys ever explain it to Troxel?
I don't remember that.
I don't remember us actually ever going.
So Troxel's been in the dark about this whole time. He legitimately thinks it's a curse when it's not a curse.
Well, okay. Well, I mean,
Yes. No, we're running with this now. This is actually funny. We're gonna run with this.
Well, Lorson wouldn't have told Troxel because he has no reason to, so...
I think it just slipped Grimshaw's mind to even mention it.
Listen, it could have boiled down to, again, we had to pry it out of her in the first place. Why would I tell anyone?
Well, now you guys are sitting here watching Troxel trying to get rid of this curse by getting the priest to remove the curse, and you both know it's not a curse, it's a creature.
We can look at each other and laugh.
Well, if it's not a curse, then how do we get rid of it?
She goes down the list of possibilities it could be. She says it could be a penance from a deity. It could be a creature latched onto her. It could be, she goes, it could be a very powerful curse, but I doubt it. This does not feel like one of those types of curses. She's going like down the list of what it could be, and she says, in order to, take care of it, we need to know exactly what it is.
Oh. Cialdre, please tell the Archbishop, to the best of your knowledge, what it is, or we're done here.
Again, you're seeing a lot of hesitance from her before she goes, I know as much as he's told you. I don't know much else.
Okay. Well,
She's going to lie down and goes,
Archbishop, whatever you could do, I'd appreciate to help her out.
I'm afraid I cannot help until the cause of it is identified. Take some time to get to know what's causing you this. She goes, I will.
Okay.
In Terry Sante.
I was genuinely confused. Said, what curse is he talking about? And he started to describe it. Wait a minute, that's a tweet.
Well, Bernard. Oh, that's right. Bernard doesn't know either.
Yep.
This is just gonna be an inside joke between Grimshaw, Lorsan, and
Cialdre.
yeah. Oh my lord! I love this. Okay, so as you guys are walking away, Lyrian just kind of leans in towards Grimshaw and goes, I think I read about these before. Does she have a tween attached to her?
I lean down, and just calmly say, "Don't tell anyone else you know." At this point, it's a running joke, but I gotta have a conversation with her later.
Okay, 'cause I was about to say she frowned when you're saying like don't tell anyone, but when you said I'll have a conversation with her later, she's like, okay, because she wants to help Cialdre, but
We all want to help
if you're planning to talk to her later, then she's like, okay, so you're just having fun until you have a conversation with her. Okay.
Yeah. Well, it's more about what she wants to divulge to everyone. We had to pry it out of her in the first place.
All right, so after that, I guess Troxel tells you that there was someone who wanted to speak to his family in the housing district. So he's going to be going over there if you guys want to tag along.
Yeah, I'd like you to tag along with me, since things are not as what I thought they were with regard to the commoners.
I have business with some other friends.
Okay,
Are we splitting the party again?
I'll take whoever wants to come with me.
I'll go.
Okay.
I'll come with.
Fantastic.
Cieldra's going with Grimshaw, obviously. And Cieldra's going to go, let's stop with Bernard and go, if you're not coming with us, can you at least tell us the direction of your friends, or where we could possibly meet them?
Well, I was saying, if those guys are the ones you trying to meet, I need to be the one to.
Oh no, they're on the list, but I figure a meeting with them might be a little bit further down.
Okay. Yeah, that's why I figured. I didn't figure you said you weren't gonna meet them later, because I need to make a first impressions, because they don't want me.
You guys, like, Grimshaw, you feel a tap on your... You're like, oh, no. You guys hear someone clear their throat and look over, and you see it, you see a man standing there. He does not look all that, interesting at first. But, he's kind of like... He kind of, like, looks at a piece of paper and goes, apologies, are you Grimshaw and Troxel and... Were you planning to meet someone today?
Who was asking?
I need to make sure I know that you're the people I need to speak to first.
These are Grimshaw's people, or Winston's people, and
No.
I'm not there or not.
No, you're here. We're still in the church.
Oh, okay.
Well, no. I thought you guys left the church already.
Well, we're kind of deciding, but yeah, I guess we left the church. Buddy, you gotta give me at least a little bit of information as to who I'm dealing with. There's a lot of people on the list of the people who want to talk to Grimshaw at this point. I'm kind of famous.
He's just like, okay, not good for you. I need to know who it is that I'm speaking to first before I can disclose any information.
Crunchy head. Crunchy head. I'm sorry, I'm slightly distracted.
Crunch, crunch, crunch.
Yeah,
Listen,
your character's joking around, but you notice that this guy has like a business face on. Like he's just like, "Can you please answer the question?"
Yes.
Thank you. Grimshaw, Troxel, and whoever else is in your group. He hands you a note and says, "You're meeting with these people, correct?" You open the note and it says KOR.
You know, you guys had a code word.
He's just like, "Oh no, we're not part of them. We're just handling the middle ground. They're here and they're ready to meet."
Where and when?
Oh, as soon as you're ready, and we will take you there.
Not drunk enough. I am not drunk enough to break the fourth wall on this, so I will. I will sit here and be good. And go. I'll go with them for right now. Get our dialogue started with them. You guys go entertain Troxel's flight of fancy with the common folk.
Saildre asks if you want her to come with you.
I would honestly like having at least one person come with me. And
She nods and comes with you.
I was gonna be like, Saildre, I trust you.
Okay, so Lorsan, Bernard, and Troxel and Lyrian are going to be going to the housing district. Grimshaw and Saildre are going to go meet with the KOR.
During our walk to the KOR, I kind of like fall back and talk to Saildre kind of under our breath so that the people in front don't hear. And I go, Saildre, you knew it was a tool. You knew what it was. Why this sudden hesitation?
She thinks about how to answer that for a moment, and she goes, Let's talk about this when we have somewhere more private."
Okay.
Alright. Eventually, they walk into what looks like it'd be a random shop, and they walk towards the back rooms. And he stops, turns around, looks at you, and says, "I apologize for this, but for the sake of discretion, we will need you to put these over your heads." As he holds bags.
Ew. Smelly.
No, not smelly. These are fresh, clean. But...
Not even gonna put us in a carriage first.
He's like, "We will not be going." He's like, "Where we're going, there won't be any carriages."
What?
You are not there.
I'm just curious. Are they the same people that I met?
You don't know.
No.
You're not here. You can't identify that.
I mean, he was there when we were talking to him at first.
Yeah, but just because he's talking to a random person doesn't mean he knows who they're affiliated with.
That's true.
They never told me their name, their group's name.
CLJ looks over to Grimshaw, looking for his lead.
Alright. But I'm gonna have my hammer at the ready. Precautions, as you as you must understand.
He's like, I understand your. He's like, there's no need to worry, but I understand your hesitance. He says as he puts the bag over. He's like, we just tend to host meeting spots, and in order to make sure that no one is ever seen together for these meetings, we use underhanded means of traveling through the city, and we just need to make sure that no one can navigate them properly. That's all.
Understood. The underground is a dark and scary place.
So with that, they start leading you blindly through the through what you assume to be a secret compartment. They lead you down in what you assume to be the sewer system, as they start like walking you around. Grimshaw, roll me a percentile real quick.
Rolling you a percent. That is 8.
You said 8?
8D.
80?
Yes.
80.
Let's see if she says anything. Alright, no one hears anything.
Fantastic.
Alright. Eventually, you are brought out again, and they take the bags off your heads. You appear to be in like a private room of a tavern.
Phenomenal.
Sitting at the table is what appears to be a single knight and 4 escorts of his.
I'm sorry, for what?
Escorts.
Okay.
Almost like squires.
Like bodyguards, I guess.
They're not mercenaries. Alright. It's a pleasure to meet y'all.
The knight stands up and he goes, Grimshaw, correct?
In the flesh.
He gives a he kind of like lifts his visor and goes, my name is Eric Blackthorne of the Knights of Reckoning, 8th of the Knights.
I'm assuming that puts you in high esteem. Especially meeting in such a fashion.
He kind of like nods and goes, I do have some sway over people, but not as much as my own higher knights.
Okay. Still, all this cloak and dagger hardly befits a knight typically.
You can see him like physically disgruntled, and he says, yes, but when in enemy territories, you must do what you have to.
Enemy territories. I can understand that. I've been in enemy territory my entire time here. But what is an enemy but a friend yet to be made? Or a client yet to be extorted?
He's kind of like, as he sits back down, he says, I would be hesitant to call this country a client when it's about to cave in on itself.
Be that as it may, who stands to benefit most from that but those who take the initiative? That's all I'm here for, really, is business.
Speaking
But-
of, I want to make it very clear what your stance in this is. So please, explain to me, where do you stand in regards to the kingdom and the Knights of Reckoning?
It's very clear to me that the kingdom is bleeding the country dry, which is, in so many words, bad for business. If businesses can't spend their money on making themselves better, how are we to use those businesses to line my pockets? We need to make the country viable for the people, because the people are what makes the country and the money. That's all I care about. Whatever the nobility does, as long as it doesn't end up hitting my bottom dollar because of it. And gotta say, they've been hitting my bottom dollar pretty hard.
And so, where do you stand?
Do you think we'd be having this conversation if I wasn't willing to help?
He's wanting to know, like, first things first, he wants to know if you're going to be a neutral party, an ally, or joining the Knights of Reckoning. Those are the three stances he's viewing right now. So he wants to know where you stand right now.
Right now, I can be an ally. I can't join the Knights of Reckoning, but I can be an ally.
He makes a comment that it's an odd choice for a warrior to not choose a military faction and instead go into a business transaction.
Well, be that as it may, I find that while being a warrior is good in the short term, able to line your pockets relatively quickly, business will always outperform it in terms of lucrativity. And being my sordid past, I can tell you that I am quite knowledgeable on how much money a business can be big, and how good or bad it could be for a country.
And he asks you, what can you provide other than money?
Oh, I can't provide money.
But he,
Not here.
you're telling him you want to start a business essentially in here, or at least an enterprise or something of that sort. You're talking about how business makes money and you're good at that. So he's saying, like, other than this, what could you provide?
Means for transportation, information, people, weapons.
This kingdom already has that plenty.
Ah, you may have it in plenty. But what happens when the king finally mobilizes against you? You'll need all the help you get. He is better funded, better armed, better armored. You're gonna have to outmaneuver him. What better way than to connect with as many people in the underground as possible?
Says we would rather limit how much of the underground we connect to. I understand that it is impossible to remove all the criminal network, and it's also impossible to remove crime overall. Crime will always exist no matter what we do. However, we do not wish for crime to flourish in such a way that it affects the general life of others. There has to be a specific line that must not be crossed. The more of the criminal underworld we work with, the more we're bolstering their strength, their numbers, their resources, to the point where they'll be greater than we are.
They're already greater than you are. They're in every city that you go to. There will always be a criminal underground. Doesn't mean you have to work with the ones that you don't like. I mean, for God's sakes, there's more than a few in this city that I've heard about. Frankly, a lot of them don't seem very keen on doing business. Not smart, if you ask me.
Grimshaw,
Yes.
I was informed you're in possession of something.
Interesting. I was informed that you'd be asking about it.
Indeed.
But I got a question for you. What is this artifact to you?
To us, it doesn't have much meaning. However, what factions are you aware of thus far?
I know of you. I know of the cartel, Thieves Guild, the local merchants, the Caravanneers. I forget what their names were, but I remember that we met them along the road coming in. And I know that in order to have good business with all of them, you have to be able to compromise with all of them.
Grimshaw.
But, how does that tie into this little trinket I have?
May I ask where you found that trinket?
I should be there. What time is it now? It's 4:38, and you're coming back at 6:30.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Found
I'll
it.
come back in an hour.
Yeah.
I found it in the ruins near a town on an island.
Which island?
I always forget the name of this island, I swear to God. I really do. Every time we bring it up, I have to go back and look at.
The name of the island is not on the map because I've looked multiple times for it.
It's the
Your
Sun
characters aren't
Island.
there. You can't remind them.
No, I don't know it.
No, that's fine. That's fine, Droxel.
That-
But we've already made it canon that Grimshaw forgets names just as easily as he does. So he may actually not remember the name of the island. You can roll an intelligence check to see if you can remember.
I have it in my notes.
Okay, number 1. That is out of character. Again, like
Again, that's OOC.
yeah, that's
so if I
out of
roll-
character
if-
information.
if
Number
I
2,
roll-
you're not there.
Yeah,
All
no
right.
one's there
So-
right now but Grimshaw. Grimshaw's the only one talking right now.
And Grimshaw, as we've already established, is not the best with names. So,
Which is even funnier because he's a very well-to-do businessman. You'd think he'd remember all this stuff.
I mean, he's been running a lot of names lately.
I mean, he's also picked up on a few names. The problem is he uses different names to kind of understand. Like, yes, is it high or low for intelligence?
High. For abilities, for straight ability checks, it's always high.
And it's D20, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
He does not. He doesn't. He forgot to tie his shoes today. Sorry, buddy, can't remember the island name. But I do remember there was a KOR assault on that island.
That would be the Sunland Island.
There we go.
He asks you if you know why there was an assault.
Never got the chance to do my interrogations, so no.
He tells you that the reason that they assaulted the island was because they had heard that there's a certain certain faction that was trying to embed itself there, and they wanted to root them out before they got a hold of that place. He tells you that this faction is everywhere in Alverdam. That they operate in the shadows more so than even the Thieves Guild. He tells you that you have more than likely have met multiple of their operatives and you have not realized it yet.
Interesting. Okay. So you're telling me the KOR, while simultaneously fighting the king, is also fighting this faction?
Here he gives kind of gives a sigh and he says, "That I am actually not entirely sure of. Our leader knows more about them than we do, and he's keeping information tight to the inner circle. We know that he is not with them, but we are unsure if he's trying to keep us focused on the task at hand, or if he believes that they're just either not important enough or too powerful to fight. Either way, we are meant to focus on the king, his armies, and taking them down. But at the same time, we occasionally get instruction from higher above, such as the one for Sunland Island. This is what we do know. This faction has been seeking relics of a bygone age. They believe that it's tied to a being that they believe to be a god.
I can understand that sentiment. This ring is way bad juju.
So you say ring, and he's just like, so you do have the ring.
You already knew I had it. You knew I didn't lose it.
He just wanted to confirm, and he asks if he can see it.
Yep. Grimshaw's like, turn around, everyone, please.
You see him, like, he doesn't turn around, but he he puts his visor down, then looks down to the table so he can't see anything. And the others kind of look at him and just like, turn around.
As soon as I see them all turn around, I reach into my boot pocket and pull out the ring. I'm like, all right, here it is.
Which, for the audience at home, just a reminder, this is what the ring looks like.
We've only brought it up in 3 episodes. Because Grimshaw is doing his job.
Yep.
And being an absolute menace on the side.
He reaches out to borrow it from you, so you can get a closer look at it.
Borrow, he says.
The DM is saying borrow, indicating that
he wants to inspect it.
Yeah.
Which is fine. I figure if I can trust anyone, it's gonna be a knight to keep his word. I need it back.
He observes it carefully, looks over it, and then you see him turn it underside and just observe it closely as he goes, "Yes, this is it."
So we've been trying to find anyone who could actually, identify what this thing actually does.
We don't know exactly what this does. Only that it's just a relic.
I can tell you one thing it can do. I can tell you exactly one thing it can do. Is that if left in a water supply, it can turn everybody into zombies.
Unfortunately, that doesn't tell me much. I don't really know too much about what gods are capable of, or what magic, or any of that. He says he hands it back to you.
Take it. I'm just gonna stuff it in my shirt pocket for right now.
Roll an intelligence check.
Intelligence. 14.
Okay. You put it in your pouch, and it's very clear that he automatically knew like that's not where you hid it. Because he knows he knows that you wouldn't go through the effort of having them look away and then show them where you're tucking the ways. He'd like caught onto that pretty quickly.
Yeah, no, but if I'm gonna hide it again, I'm not gonna have him turn around. I'm gonna be nice about this one.
So he tells you that yeah, he let me pull this back up.
Nuttier than I remember. And by the way, for the people at home, I've been licking this lollipop this entire time. I have been licking a scorpion.
No.
Is it crunchy?
I thought it was a little scorpion lollipop.
It is delicious.
Nom nom.
Nuttier than I remember.
All right, so he tells you that there's not much he can do or say about the relic itself or the group, but if you head over towards their headquarters, you could speak to some of the more higher up knights and try and get more information from them. He warns you that if you do seek more information, that they're going to be requiring you to be more hands-on in some of their operations regarding this group. If you do not want to be more hands-on with their group, then you're going to then they're probably going to request you hand it over so that they can safeguard it and all that kind of stuff.
Pan, yes, it is delicious. I mean, this group just sounds bad for business. You're telling me a group that's trying to revive an old god is gonna be good for business?
He tells you he doesn't know what their goal is. All he knows is that they devote themselves to this deity and they're just wanting to worship him. That's the only thing that they're aware of. As far as he's been told, they're basically collecting old relics of this deity to like worship. It's literally like the same thing with like the Ark of the Covenant, where the Jews wanted to get the Ark of the Covenant back because that was their that was a relic of their god. It's that kind of concept here.
For now.
Again, he doesn't know anything besides that. If you want more information, you have to go to them, but he warns you again, if you go seeking more information about this group, they will either enlist you to work very closely with them against this group, or if you choose not to enlist yourselves and keep doing stuff on your own, they're going to require you to hand over the relic so that they can safeguard it.
Oh no, I've been safeguarding it pretty well.
And he tells you, how would you feel about a random stranger walking around with something that you want to make sure is kept safe when you know that there's a threat greater than them? He reminds you, you've encountered them everywhere and you have not known it yet. He tells you it's a miracle that you have not been found out.
It's not so much a miracle as much as this is only the second time I've pulled this out of my boot. And let me tell you, it's probably not coming out for a long time again.
He says, like, I've given you my warning.
Oh, I know. Well, but again, like I said, these guys seem pretty bad for business. I'd probably be okay with taking them out. I've seen what the ring does to people through the water. I can only imagine what kind of power it actually has. And if this is worshiping an old dead god that they're or whatnot, I can only imagine what power they could have. How?
Well, regardless of the ring and that situation, again, because he's told you what he can about that. Tells you if you wish to learn more about it, head to Red Bee.
Red Bee.
Outside of that, he gives you a couple of pieces of information. But in return for this information, like before he gives this information, he's like, okay, what guarantees can you give me that you'll be of assistance to us? Before that happens, someone approaches and says, apologies, but there might be an incident at some point, so we might want to wrap this up soon.
Uh-oh. An incident.
Yes. Some radicals are making a move, essentially.
KOR radicals, or?
He shakes his head and goes, no, these people were not able to escape the city, so they weren't able to join the KOR. But their situation has gotten worse over time, and they're planning to take things into their own hands, essentially. You see the man, like the knight, like frown and go, that's not a good sign.
When is it ever? I can give you the guarantee that if called upon, some of my group will be willing to help. if the money is right.
He tells you that so far, he tells you that conventional wisdom tells him that they should stick to the, like the professional mercenaries that they've been hiring so far, but you have proven yourselves to be a little more capable than they expected. So they will keep an eye on you and will contact you if they feel that they need you.
Sounds good.
In the meantime, this news is not so fun, so he suggests that you guys, wrap this up. I guess so.
I need some help. Or is this a not gonna be a non-violent way of talking people down?
He looks at you and says, I've seen some of these radicals before. They intend to do something violent.
Well, do you want help putting down the incursion?
You can see he's still not sure if that's the wisest choice for him to do, especially since he's a knight of reckoning in the middle of Balmoral.
So dress yourself not as a knight.
He can't do. If he enters a fight, he's going to be going in with his armor. Like, that's part of his code of honor.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Mm-hmm. Hence his hesitation. Now, we're going to pause and jump over to Lord San Bernard, Troxel, and Lyrian.
Okay. Heading off to the...
Yep. So, as you... What?
I will remind you it's almost break time.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm trying to do this. So as you guys are walking through the town, the district, Troxel, you're kind of like as you're walking through, you're like, I haven't been down this part of the town before. So you're kind of like looking around. And you're seeing essentially like it's not like the outer area where all the poor and the sick and all those kind of people live. But it's not the prettiest place either. It's pretty run down. You see a couple of people who are not sick, but you can tell they're high, and like bloodshot and all that kind of stuff.
So they're on drugs.
You've made it to Kensington.
Eventually, you reach the place in question.
So where are we going?
We're going to see a man before he dies. Hopefully he hasn't died. We wanted to speak actually wanted to speak with my father.
He wanted to speak with anyone in the Candell house.
So find the place.
Why
and
we do
land.
not know.
That is a little bit sus, I have to say.
Well, the building that the person was in is essentially like it's down an alleyway, which leads to a dead end. But the building is like three doors away from the dead end.
Well, I guess as we're making our way down there, I want to keep an eye out, make sure we're not being followed.
Roll a wisdom or intelligence.
I'll roll 2.
It's a modified 20 for wisdom.
Oh hell yeah!
You see Grimshaw eating a scorpion lollipop.
What'd you roll,
Most
Bernard?
everyone knows where the heck he got that from.
Don't worry about it.
I got 19.
I have one.
You got a what?
19.
Delicious.
All right, there you go.
Tia, what flavor did you get, by the way?
It's blueberry.
You got blueberry? I got strawberry.
Yeah. I just don't have mine yet.
All right, so guys, Lorfsan, you feel like something's not right as you guys walk into this alleyway, and Bernard, as you guys are walking to the alleyway, you notice a couple of things. Both of you do. So you notice. Where is it? There's like homeless people like sitting around or talking together and all that kind of stuff. But you notice a couple of, like, one or two of them, you pick out like one or two here and there, kind of like giving sideways glances or looking a little bit too long at you guys. And Lorsan, you notice a man just kind of like leaning, like you guys pass him into the alleyway, but you notice him as he's leaning against the wall. Part of his cloak is a little bit too bulgy, giving you the impression of a weapon.
Okay.
You guys are
I'm
realizing,
going to-
as you guys walk into this alleyway, you realize that you guys are being surrounded.
Never mind.
Combat without Grimshaw? Oh no.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, oh, you're splitting up the party, huh? So yeah, impending combat. And we're going to go ahead and what Truckle?
We're going to continue knocking on the door. Go to knock on the door, continuing on the way.
Yep. Roll me a dex check for me.
Dex?
Dexterity, yes.
9.
Ooh. Okay, so let's see here. Yeah, okay, so 1 second. So you guys watch as he knocks on the door. There's a moment, and then the door opens up, and Troxel, you're met with a young man thrusting a sword into your chest.
Really?
Yeah,
Ow.
and that's where we're going to call the intermission.
Well, that's the second
Okay.
creature that's been stabbed in the chest.
All right, we'll see you guys after the break.
So many people getting stabbed.
Yeah.
Rumors heard from a little blackbird, the edges of a prophecy, the pieces I have learned. Said the daughter of the reaper has been searching for the keeper, and I fear she'll let me down. Locked tied up in the tower on top of the domain of humanity, the godhood that I've earned. When you're holding on to majesty, you fear the hunt of travesty, the balance may return. You're sinful to the bone, unholy, and you've claimed yourself a throne like me. treachery, with hatred and with scorn. If you know the hunt is coming, then you hide or keep on running, 'cause she slain the gods before. You're sinful to the bone and holy, and you've claimed yourself a throne like me, wield power of your own making. God hunter's gonna hunt you down. If you're something more than flesh, something, and you've taken on the rest to end it, and she'll find you in a dream, tormented. God hunter's gonna hunt you down. Don't let her see power in the daylight. Don't let her see you bring the storm to the master of the eldritch. She's a growing bed of thorns. Dark gods, leaders of the night, tell the tales of a fright from a ghost of the future days. A holy crusade on the gods' decay to end of violent ways. Lost kings falling in the woods, made the names on a list, and the hunt was going through. A price for the past when your name is lost, and the hunter comes for you. Of all the free, she has none left but me, and the loyal knights have passed with time. A garden of throne left to Paul alone, a kingdom I count mine. Dreams of her being from the washer unseen, everyone we shall come to take his due. The hate in your head, she has more, he said. The God hunter waits for you. You're sinful to the bone and holy, and you've claimed yourself a throne like me, wield power of your own making. God hunter's gonna hunt you down. If you're something more than flesh, something, and you've taken on the rest to end it, and she'll find you in a dream, tormented. God hunter's gonna hunt you down. Too long we've gone adrift with the resolve to carry on. When the climb is steep and the days are long, we rise, all rise. Our fight burns bright. From filth we send to the tree of life. The lowly empowered and faith unite. We rise, all rise. So far we are, the hope scattered among the fallen stars. The last note played on an old guitar. We rise, oh rise. that stole. We rise, oh rise. We will die again where the oceans end. Over and over. In the dragon's fire, we will testify. Shoulder to shoulder. In the lands between, spirits sharp and clean. Used with a purpose. Through the scarlet mist, for the maidenless. We rise and burn again. We rise again. We bled instead of giving ourselves to the void of death, accepting the power for final breath. We rise, oh rise, to yearn and burn with frenzy and flame to the rights we've earned. In face of the falsehood and secrets learned, we rise, oh rise. We will die again where the oceans end. Over and over. In the dragon's fire, we will testify. Shoulder to shoulder. In the lands between, spirits sharp and clean. Used with a purpose. Through the scarlet mist, for the maidenless. We rise and burn again. We rise again. Though some of us won't make it back, we're following into the black, unknown for a long lost throne. We rise again, where others might look for escape. These lights in dark search for grace, once lost to a blood-soaked cause. We will rise through battlefields scarred by the gods. We're striving no matter the odds. When nothing can hold back the tide, we rise, we rise. Christless and exile were loyal the same, returning to roots through the worst of our pain. When kings rise against, have it writ on their grave. The old gods were felled by a mortal unnamed. We will die again where the oceans end. Over and over. In the dragon's fire, we will testify. Shoulder to shoulder. In the lands between, spirits sharp and clean. Used with a purpose. Through the scarlet mist, for the maidenless. We rise and burn again. We rise again. Eternal struggle echoes to the past. We rise. So even if only to fall then in ash, we rise. I will rise.
Can hear the whispers in my sleep, the voices telling me this should be mine. You claim you trust me. You think I don't see the doubt behind your eyes. I'm gonna build me an empire, and it's lonely at the top. But madness and greatness can both share a face, and nobody will ever convince me to stop. It's my destiny. I was born to play this game, so fear me or love me, it's all the same. Try to find a chain that I won't break, a price I wouldn't pay for what I want. So you can call me calculating, you can call me calculating. You can say I've lost my mind, you can say I've lost my mind. You can throw me to the wolves, I'll be alright. I'm gonna build me an empire, and it's lonely at the top. But madness and greatness can both share a face, and nobody will ever convince me to stop. It's my destiny. I was born to play this game, so fear me or love me, it's all the same. Just one word, I'll let the world burn. Just one word, I'll let the world burn. I'm gonna build me an empire, and it's lonely at the top. But madness and greatness can both share a face, and nobody will ever convince me to stop. It's my destiny. I was born to play this game, so fear me or love me, it's all the same. So fear me or love me, it's all the same.
Like peanut butter nutty.
You're muted, Christian.
Maybe
Welcome back,
hazelnut?
everyone, to another episode of... No, not the intro. Welcome back after the intermission. Everyone's back? No? Bernard's still gone?
He's probably grabbing food or something, Christian.
I get that. It's fine.
I am so close to finishing this. To finally taking a bite out of this scorpion.
How big is it?
I mean, I can show it to you. It's like that big.
Oh, okay.
It takes up like the whole lollipop.
Alright, so we're gonna wait a moment for Winston to get back. Rather not start combat without him if possible.
Before the break, I was running a wolf tent after he did this.
What?
Before the break, I was wanting Lorson to, like, after he had noticed something suspicious was going on, was to put on his brass knuckles,
All
like
right.
in preparation for a fight.
Yeah, I get that.
But
Yeah.
that kind of got skipped over.
Well, you didn't have to get skipped over. Your character could easily be doing that right now. Like you have your brass knuckles on. You're ready for it. But like again, like when he opened the door, he gets stabbed. Like that's the initiation of the combat. You're ready for combat. You are ready for that. But yeah, he got stabbed when he opened the door. Okay. So, this is weird. I guess we'll go ahead and start combat.
Good.
All right, so everyone roll initiative. It'll be a
6-sided or 10-sided dice?
10-sided.
I am not rolling.
An 8.
I got a 7.
7, 8, 9, 10. So, all right, there we go. Lyrian. Okay, so Lorsan, you're gonna go first, and then it's gonna be the enemies, and then it's gonna be Troxel and Lyrian.
Okay. Did I see
How many,
Troxel get
how many are
stabbed?
these guys?
What? Troxel, give me a second. What was that, Lorsan?
Did I see Troxel get stabbed?
Yeah, you saw him get stabbed.
Is there room in the doorway for me to dash in there and knock that guy out?
Yeah, you can do that.
I'm
Okay.
back.
Winston, yay!
Hello.
Okay, really quick. Winston, roll initiative.
This D5, right?
D10.
D10.
What do you mean D5? There's no such thing as D5.
That's a
D6.
nice try.
Come on. Ah, 3.
Alright, so you're going along with Troxel and Lyrian. Alright, Lorsan, continue.
Okay. I guess I would like to dash in the doorway and sucker punch the guy that stabbed Troxel, like right under the chin.
Yep. Alright. Go ahead and roll to hit.
$19.
Hey, there you go.
And it's a 1d4 plus 1 to damage.
Yep.
Four damage.
Nice. Not only have you dealt that damage, you have also stunned the hell out of him. He got knocked him back onto the ground. He's completely dazed,
Good. Alright.
leaving the short sword stuck in Troxel's stomach.
Well, pulling it out would be a bad idea.
What do I see around me?
Okay, so what you're looking at is essentially there's about 20 people who are like throwing off cloaks or pulling out weapons, and looks like most of them have either daggers or like a makeshift spear. You see one or two. You see what was it? There they are. You do see like one of the like two of them have like what looks to be like a net. And then in addition to that, there appear to be like there appear to be two people who are kind of like directing these guys, and then one person in the back who looks like they're who like has a weapon out and they're like at the ready.
Hmm.
Now it's their turn.
Wait a minute. Don't I go after them?
No. So it was Lorsan, then it was them, and then it'll be you guys.
Okay.
Yeah. So you just hear them. You hear one of them yell out, going like, "Get him! Get him!" As they all just surge inwards. Troxel.
I'm here. Go ahead.
Okay. I can't see you, and I didn't hear any response. So, roll me a Constitution check real quick.
20.
Troxel's about to get jumped in an alley.
Again.
Is that 8? Okay. So, you're gonna have some trouble with like physical actions for this round. You did get 6 points of damage from that stab.
Okay.
So my question for Lorsan, Bernard, and Troxel is, what are you guys doing within the few seconds you have, as everyone starts surging in on your location?
My intent
Are we-
is to go to the door with Lorsan and get that door closed as quickly as possible.
Are we completely surrounded on all sides?
You're in an alley, a dead-end alley.
Yeah, in the middle of that alley, in the building. So yeah, you'd be surrounded on all sides. Not actually like there's 2 more people inside the house that you're in, but that's it.
Okay. Are Bernard and Lyrian close to the house as well?
Lyrian was near Troxel, so she's kind of like paling and
So
freaking
she-
out and freezing up.
Basically. Okay. Trying to think here.
Well, you're in the house already. It's Bernard and me and Lyrian. I'm going into the house. What's Bernard doing? That's the only person left.
Good question. What are you doing, Bernard?
I'm going to cast darkness and one
Ooh.
into the alley.
Smart.
Wait a minute.
That's very smart. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Blind
Everyone.
so you can book it out there.
Just as they start running forward. Oh, wait. What's the casting time for that?
Make sure. Right here. Come on.
Oh, 1 segment. That's perfect.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, so you quickly cast a spell, and then boom, everyone's just engulfed in darkness. You hear a few people start screaming, a lot of people shouting orders and that kind of stuff. Bernard, this is your magic, so you can see through this darkness easily, but your companions are just as blind as everyone else.
So you said there's one other person inside the room, right?
2.
2 other people inside the house, but they're also blinded. Because this is a big radius.
Okay. Let's see. I'm going to use my crossbow on one of the people. Wait, you know, Let's see. Wait. What do I want to do? Where's? Do I see my other? How close are my other friends to me? To the house?
Lorsan and Troxel are inside the house. Lyrian's just outside of it, having a panic attack.
Can I pull Lyrian inside?
Yeah.
Okay.
You hear her screaming and like hitting you because she doesn't know who's grabbing her, but
Come on, get inside.
that calms her down. Or at least it gets her to stop hitting you. Okay, so at this point, we've shifted initiative to you guys are first and they're second. So, but good, quick thinking on Bernard.
That
Very
was good, Bernard. Well done. So, Lorsan, is it her turn to take out those two? Can we do that? I want to get the door closed and some cellular adjustments on me, but that's it.
Well, my
Lorsan,
concern is that there's now gonna be 20 people converging on this house.
well, they can't see the
We're
house.
gonna
They
be
can't see where they're
sitting here.
going.
Yeah, they can't see where you
We
where
have
you
a little
guys
bit of time.
get to the roofs.
Yeah, we need to get out of this alleyway.
Typically, buildings that open up into an alleyway also open up onto the street.
Is there a window?
Not on the lower floor.
I guess I think I remember I made my poison up already, and so I'm gonna use my blow dart on one of the guys.
Okay. Fortunately, he just made the save.
Dang, okay.
Okay, Lorsan, do you want to try attacking anyone on your way out, or are you just going to try and focus on leading everyone out to the upstairs?
I'm gonna cast invisibility on Troxel.
Ooh, okay.
And well, I do have infravision, but I don't know if that would help in this situation, since it's a magical darkness.
Yeah, that would not help. You cannot see
Okay.
anything. You're acting on blindly. Unless Bernard leads you directly, you're not going to know where you're going. You're relying on intuition and instinct at that point. In which case, I would have you roll direction sense, but.
I just grab Troxel by the arm and start pulling him up the stairs.
I'll
Alright.
go along with her.
Both of you roll direction sense for me.
For me, is that a 20-sided die or
Yeah, D20 or D100 of your choosing.
a 20? 8.
8.
Oh, that's a 99.
Oof. Alright, so you guys are heavily slowed down as you are blindly looking for the stairs.
Bernard, where the hell are the stairs?
Can I move yet, or is
You go. What do you mean? You can move perfectly. You're not restricted in any way, shape, or form in your movement.
okay? Well, I grab Lorsan, and then I grab
You meant Lyrian.
Lyrian, and then I head over towards Troxel and
Lorsan.
Lorsan and lead them to the stairs.
All right.
Come on, guys, follow me. Follow me. Ow,
Follow
ow,
the
ow.
sound of my voice. Come with me if you want to live.
Follow the sweet, sweet sound of my voice.
You hear a bang on the door as someone finally reached the door.
Probably should have barricaded it first, but
Can't barricade, not enough time. I tried to bar it or block it, but
All right, you guys eventually reach the rooftop. Bernard, at your vantage point, you can see they're scrambling below. There's a couple of people who made it there, and they're trying to do the same thing you did, which is like, follow my voice over here. It's over here.
I'm sorry. When we
What?
went up the stairs, we didn't see any older gentlemen or anything like that that I was supposed to come to see.
Oh,
No.
This was a trap.
No, okay.
This was a
So we
trap.
got up to the roof, and there's darkness still on the roof.
So because you're higher up, you're like okay, so it's an alleyway, and so it's a city, but it's not mass. It's no, yeah. Now that you're on the roof, you are out of the darkness. So you guys see a wall of blackness, essentially.
Okay, so I guess we start making our way along the rooftops towards safety.
Oh, but wait a minute.
I guess so.
Oh, but wait a minute.
What?
Because just as you're about to do that, let's see here. Bernard, what's your AC?
Ah, dang.
Funk.
My AC is 6.
All right, cool. You get hit by a void bolt.
Oh, doggone it.
For 11
That's
points of
horrible.
damage.
You know, two can play at that game. Do I know what direction that came from?
Oh yeah, it was very clear what direction it came from. And you look down, you see. You remember how I said that there was someone in the back, kind of like ready to act if something happened?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that halfling just was had moved to a different location so he could get a better vantage point. Saw you guys come out and then cast void bolt on Bernard.
Alright, I want to do the same back to him.
Roll to hit.
The
Oh,
power
and
of the void.
Bernard, I want you to roll me
Hacking my
concentration.
halfling.
Roll me a saving throw for concentration.
Concentration, okay.
The one.
D20, right?
Yep. Lorsan, you said it was a 1?
Uh-huh.
Uh-oh. Okay, hold on.
I miss. I fired and I miss. But I fire and I miss again.
Yeah. Yeah, it wasn't a horrible miss, but it was a pretty bad miss too.
Dang it.
Ah,
You hit the
7.
building.
I got 7.
7? Okay, yeah, so the darkness spell drops.
Oh, okay.
Well, Troxel is still invisible, so right now it's only Lorsan, Renard, and Lyrin, and I that are visible
Mm-hmm.
to everyone.
Yep. So Troxel's still invisible. Everyone looks up and says, "Look, there they are! Where is he? I don't know. Find him!" So you see them split up. Half of them are starting to search the buildings for Troxel. The rest of them are like either pulling out or tossing to each other like crossbows and aiming upwards,
Suckers.
or like pulling out a sling and getting ready to fling some rocks at you.
I'm sorry, we're on a roof, so can't we just step on away from the view of the alley and
Yeah, you can. Yeah, that you can. That would work. Yeah.
yeah, I
we
definitely
do that?
want to do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the halfling, the whole reason she was able to see you guys and had a better vantage point because she started climbing up the catwalk up on the building. So she actually still does have a bit of a vantage point with you.
Can I shoot now?
Yeah.
I'm gonna shoot my crossbow at her.
Get
Okay,
him.
go ahead.
D20, right?
Yep.
One. Doggone it.
That's a lot of ones today.
Yeah. You fire it, and she just goes.
Dang it.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you.
I just put my head down. Oh, dang it.
So she starts like calling out to the others, like, you guys go over, climb on there. You over there. Because again, with her vantage point, she can see where you guys are, and she's able to direct everyone else. So they're starting to go into the buildings and climb up to the roofs and all that kind of stuff.
Well, let's keep moving away from this alley, getting out of this alley and getting away from them as quickly as possible.
Yeah, we need to move. Okay. Well, I can move a lot farther than you guys, but...
You hear a
then-
horn blast. And Troxel, you recognize that as like, hey, this is a guard calling out for help. Like calling for aid.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You're in the middle of a city, yeah. There's guards.
Well, I got it. I gotta get out of here. I don't want to be caught doing that.
Don't worry about it. Let's keep moving. Let's keep moving. I need to take 2 minutes to turn on the oven. I'll be right back.
Okay, Bernard, do you have the invisibility spell prepared?
Yes.
Okay, good. So as soon as you realize as soon as you need to, cast that on yourself.
Yep. Yeah. I'm going to. I knew. So I was thinking I'm going to use my invisibility spell soon.
Grimshaw, you would have like already been out of the meeting and on the streets for a few minutes now when you hear the horn blast.
Huh. I may as well go see what's going on. Listen, I have no stake in it right now. I ain't gonna get paid if I help. But hey, may as well go see what's going on.
You guys watch as the halfling kind of like hears the horn blast, looks over, notices the guard, and you see her smile as she looks up at you guys, pulls out a bottle, lights it,
I flip her off.
and yeets it at you guys.
Is that a Molotov cocktail?
So she misses. She doesn't throw far enough, so it ends up falling into the middle of the street. Mind you, with the innocent people in the middle of the street. And yes,
You
Grimshaw,
have terrible aim.
it is a Molotov cocktail.
The only thing you can do that with is mithril. Well, now someone has to die. Wasting good booze on fireworks.
Well, now the civilians are screaming because not only did someone get caught on fire, but there's also, hey, look, crates are now getting caught on fire and the buildings are now getting caught on fire.
Lorson does not care. He only cares about getting Troxel to safety because if his father finds out that his son died, there's
Well,
gonna be trouble.
Well, like, you may not care, but Troxel's watching this halfling burning down people and buildings trying to get to him.
Does it appear that this halfling can see me?
No, they can't. They clearly can't see you. But what you guys can see is that they're wearing a gleeful smile.
What's a lethal smile?
Gleeful.
Like, yeah, like she's very happy.
Picture the Joker.
Well, let's keep moving away towards the sound of the horn.
Okay. But before you guys are gonna keep moving in direction of the horn, and all of a sudden you're gonna turn around and there's not.
We probably don't want to go in the direction of the horn.
No, you do want to go in the direction of the horn. You're the assailees, not the assailants. Going in the direction of the horn would probably be a good idea, right?
Troxel is also invisible.
Yes.
If you run away, that makes you look guilty. If you run to the guards, that means you're seeking their assistance, that you're being attacked. So it would actually work in your favor if you run towards the guards.
Okay, but before we
I'm
head,
still in my Troxel noble attire, so it shouldn't be a problem.
Yep. Bleeding out, you have which, by the way, Troxel is bleeding out. So, well, not bleeding out to that degree, but yeah, he still has that sword in
I'm
his
He's
chest.
just injured.
Yeah.
I'm going to use cell adjustment at double the rate to cure all my hit points.
Okay, so you guys hear Troxel grunting in pain, as if correct me if I'm reading this wrong, but what I'm getting from you is you're pulling the sword out of your chest while using cellular adjustment, so that you can seal the wound while getting rid
That's
of
correct.
the. Okay, yeah. So yeah, you guys hear him grunting in pain and agony, and after about a full-on minute, you hear a clank and you see the sword visible as it fell to the ground, caked in blood.
Hmm.
I'm good, guys. Don't worry about me. Let's keep moving.
Yeah. Now, for those who do not have parkour, roll a dex check.
So what do I roll?
You don't have to roll anything. If you have parkour, then you can just move across the building with ease.
11.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm rolling mid.
Can I guess, pick Larian up and carry her across as I leap across?
Yes, easily.
Okay.
With all of your help, Troxel is able to get across, and I say with all of your help because he is not the most athletic person, and he's injured. So, but yeah. As you guys jump across, you notice that there have been a couple of guys who have gotten up to the top, and they're now priming their crossbows. So I'm going to. What are all of your ACs?
Oh, my AC is.
You're invisible.
Yeah.
That's true.
So Bernard and Lorsand. Actually, Bernard said yours were 6. So
yeah.
never mind. None of them hit you.
Oh, thank God. I was in trouble.
All right. So you guys have made it to the other side of the alleyway at this point.
Before we see any guards, I've cast. I'm with Chuck, so I don't really need to cast Billy on this. I think
They can't prove that you were the one who cast in the darkness anyway.
Yeah.
Correct.
I mean, they don't really care right now either because like the other halfling is literally throwing rocks at the guard now.
She throwing rocks?
Yeah.
She went from throwing Molotovs to rocks.
She only had so much ammunition, my friend.
So she's just completely insane.
Can I take out my longbow and try a sniper?
Yeah, go ahead.
That is a 9 to hit.
Let's see here.
It's a very small target after all.
That actually hits.
Okay.
She hits the small target. The scorpion has been losing legs.
Nom, nom, nom,
I
nom.
don't know where they've been going, but it has been losing legs.
What is the halfling wearing?
Gambison.
Campus.
You're firing a light crossbow, right?
No,
No,
our
no.
longbow.
Oh, longbow. My bad.
Yeah, that's me.
Um,
I don't even have that down.
What? Yeah,
Steel
because
plate, mail, cloth.
yeah, would Gamishton be considered banded or splint mail, or 'cause
Cloth,
it's not in
cloth.
the list of?
Cloth.
Cloth. Gamison is padded cloth, so...
Okay, so I add +4 to my damage.
What do you mean? No, it wouldn't. Number one, it wouldn't affect damage. Number two, for longbows, what are you looking at specifically?
Damage by type.
Based on the type of armor.
You don't
For-
use damage based on type of armor. What you're using the type of armor for is gauging whether you have bonuses to hit or penalties to hit. Doesn't affect the damage.
Oh, serious?
Yeah.
Okay.
For example, the longbow has a -2 to hit Gamison, but she still hit him.
Okay.
It has a +4 for cloth or leather. You said it counts as cloth.
No, it doesn't. I have the card in my hand right now. What
Okay,
exactly are you looking at?
Well, I just wrote down what was in the weapons card, but I guess it's outdated. Okay, so
You
just
might have been using the old card.
crits for damage.
Yeah, so 1 to 6. We'll figure this out later.
Yep,
We'll jump off that bridge when we come to it.
that's a 6 for damage.
Alright, sweet. Alright. So, essentially, yeah, so, like, you fire it, and she goes, ah! She kind of, like, snaps it off, throws it aside. Do.
She's on a roof. Where's she getting the rocks from? Did she just carry up a pack of rocks with her?
Guess so.
But yeah, so I'll go ahead and explain real quick. The reason I try to avoid any additional damage for missiles is because you can fire those a lot more frequently than you can swing a weapon. And we've play tested this. I talked to Grimshaw about this actually. We had play tested the updated characters, and the Ranger completely dwarfed every other martial class because they were just sniping everyone out of oblivion because of their bonus damage for missiles and because of how many times they could actually, attack. So that's why I'm avoiding adding like damage to missile weapons, or at least why I try. So yeah, you'll see a lot of bonuses to hit, but not bonuses to damage from missiles. All right, so yeah, you dealt 6 damage to her, and it looks like she did get hurt, but she's nowhere near down. She's got hindered a bit. She threw a rock at you in response, and I'm not gonna have you roll at all because you can just catch it with how low she rolled it.
Can I throw it back?
Yeah, you can throw back.
Just hurl it back at her in response.
Yeah, go ahead.
Throw a rock at me. No, it's a 6.
All right. Does anyone else want to do anything, or are you guys still heading towards the
Still
the
heading
guard?
towards safety. Sound of the horn.
Yep.
All right. By this point, Grimshaw, you're seeing, as you're getting closer to the source of the sound, you're seeing more guards rushing over there.
What's going on?
All right, back to you guys.
I'm just gonna fucking keep walking. I mean, I don't need to run there just yet. I don't think I have no reason to think they're in trouble.
You guys start seeing more guards filing in. There's a row of them with spears and a row of them with bow and arrows. The halfling smiles when she sees them rush in, and then she points her finger at you guys and launches another void bolt.
Wow.
This time, since Bernard is also invisible, she's going to shoot it at Lorsan.
Alright, that's fine. I can take it.
Ooh. She misses.
I'm pretty sure the guards saw that, right?
Oh yeah, they saw that very clearly.
Okay. I'm just gonna
10
shoot
points
from the
of
door
magic.
lantern.
I'm going on out of invisibility, casting 10 points of magic missile damage on the halfling.
Okay. So go ahead and roll damage for the missiles.
I did.
Oh, you
10
did?
total.
How much was it again?
10.
10? Alright. You see her grunt again as she kind of like braces for the impact. And she's still up and going, and she kind of like looks up, sees the guards getting ready, she sees you guys. She just smiles, casts a spell, and now she's invisible.
Mm.
And the guards are surrounding the people in the alleyway below. They notice you guys, and they notice Troxel, and they're like, "Come down! We're clear!"
Flash.
I'm casting detective.
Wait, Troxel. What, Lorsan?
So, because Larson has infravision, meaning he can see heat signatures, can he still see her running away?
No, invisibility blocks that out. Otherwise, it would be completely
Okay.
useless in this world.
Never mind.
You were saying, Troxel?
I'm casting detect invisibility, and then I'm going to do next round another magic missile ladder.
Okay. You cast Detected Invisibility. You see her for half a second, but it looks like she's in the middle of casting a spell, and then she vanishes.
Okay. I'm going to get down and then talk to the guards.
And Bernard will watch you in silence.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who's the officer in charge here?
What was it? One of them walks over to you and says, "Lord Troxel, I am."
Oh, I want to thank you for your prompt response. I seem to have been ambushed.
Yes, we can. It's very clear. We can clearly see that, sir. He says as they are pulling in some of the guys that they caught.
Do you happen to know who these people are?
Yes, sir. Actually, we do. They are they're a couple of the peasants who live in this area, and they've been getting concerned with their actions, and now it's been proven that we should have been.
Why were they attacking me? You know?
He looks at you and he looks at you and says, "I have a theory, but you're probably not going to like it, sir."
I'd like to hear it.
He explains to you that he's been trying to track down these people, and that he'd been listening on the grapevine, listening to people and interrogation, and his best guess is that they wanted your head on a pike as an example.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, that's not good.
No, not good. Which is why they're glad that they got to you in time.
Well, I appreciate it. I'll get his name and.
Well,
Get
first of
back,
all,
I'll-
they notice that you have an injury, so they're going to they're like, "Okay, sir, let us take you to the medic. We'll take care of you there."
I've already taken care of those injuries. I just have blood on me. But
At first, he doesn't believe you, and then it takes a moment before he's like, "Oh, right. Oh, forgot about that. Yes, sir."
forgot about what?
He forgot about your abilities.
Well, how would he know that anyhow?
He assumes because you're magic. He doesn't understand. He doesn't know that you have psionic ability.
Oh, I see. Got it.
Yeah,
Okay.
you have to remember, like, if you're nobility and you're bleeding, number one, that's the highest priority for this guy. He wants to make sure you are taken care of, which he can see that you're still wounded, you're still in pain.
I shouldn't be. I'm fully healed. I was only down 6 hit points.
Yeah. You're right. You're tired. You're a little tuckered out from that, but yeah, you're right. So yeah, because the fact that you're bleeding but you're not injured, they're sitting there going like, okay, either clerical power or something else, and he is a spellcaster, so it has to be that.
Yep. Got it.
It's at this time that Grimshaw arrives. and sees Troxel with the blood on the clothes.
Well, I'll explain this to Grimshaw what happened. And I guess I was a fool going into the quarter by myself, or with just the party split. But Bernard did very well, and so did Lorsan. I have to compliment him.
Which Grimshaw
Lyrian
cannot see
and I were
Bernard.
basically, we were basically what audience, just watchers in this. And I'll thank Lorsan for making me invisible and getting me out of there.
I was about to say, knocking out the assailant, leading you upstairs, fending off the warlock.
Did very well.
Lorsan did a lot there, yeah.
I'm gonna. You know, leave you guys alone for 10 minutes. And you lead him down a dark alley on the whim of a note that was handed to you. Or did you not think, hey, dark alley, this seems sus?
First of all, it was during the day. Second of all, it's in a town that I'm familiar with.
Third off, you're nobility. Fourth off, you're going down a dark alley.
I know.
Where-
but
where's-
I
where-
definitely need to talk to our illustrious steward and find out exactly who gave him the note.
That would be great. Wonderful. 10 minutes! My conversation was 10 minutes!
Don't worry, I played babysitter while you were gone.
You Lord say. Maybe next time don't go down the dark alleyway that has only one exit in the middle of the residential district. All right, conniption over. What's the plan?
We failed to, as you're aware, failed to get the curse from Seldray,
Sealdray.
Yes, I was there.
And then I'm going to now go back and make sure we get the warrant, magical warrant for Bernard. And then, as far as I'm concerned, we can eat. We're going to redo our supplies, and then we'll leave tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow might be a good time to leave.
Well, I have my own research to take care of.
Yeah, and I'll see if I can get in touch with my friends and see if they're interested in into maybe doing business with you.
Good man.
Okay.
All right.
Grimshaw got to take a nice leisurely stroll through town while everyone else is fighting for their lives.
Right?
Love it. Don't you just love it when like the most dangerous character isn't there?
Yeah.
That added a completely different dynamic to the fight. Actually,
Well, I mean, 20 people. That's been a little much for you. That's been a little much for even you.
20 people who are blinded by darkness and scattered afterwards.
and we could have just stayed on the second floor instead of going all the way up to the roof and just knocked people down the stairs the entire time.
Yeah, that could work. It would probably eventually burn down the house, though.
Not before we take out more than a few people. And plus, if they throw a Molotov cocktail into that house, we have plenty of time to get out.
All right. So what next?
I'll go. I'll go last. Mine's probably not gonna be as interesting.
Well, I mean, Lorton wants to go to the library in the city.
Go ahead.
I'll help her out if she needs. I'll go there, tell the librarian to help with any research that she might be interested in.
Oh, he's gonna need your help because it's a private library for the Candle House. So, Lorsan would never.
Wait, wait,
Lorsan.
I'll definitely go there. I'll definitely go
Okay.
to Lorsan.
Go ahead, Lorsan.
There's not a public library in the city itself.
Correct. It is a private library for the Candle House. You would not get past the front door.
No, but I'm saying that there's not like an actual library in the gigantic city that we're currently in.
You think the common folk can read?
Actually,
I
they
mean-
can,
They can.
Merchant?
but they don't have a library. I was talking about that, getting a public library.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
And yes, Grimshaw, the public can read.
I know I'm being sarcastic. I did these. Half the time I'm screaming like that, I swear I'm being sarcastic.
So, Grimshaw, what are your plans?
I'm gonna go to the Winchester, have a pint, and wait for this all to blow over. No, I'm gonna sit down and have a nice conversation with Steeldre about the truth about why she was hesitant all of a sudden.
Where do you want to have this conversation with her?
Privately.
Define private. Like, what location are we talking about?
Private room in a
In?
inn. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so I think Grimshaw's owed a scene now.
Well, no, I listen. I had like 80% of the scene in the beginning. It was only fair that I only get 20% here. They got all the combat. I got to be goofy.
All right, well, let's go ahead and have that conversation real quick, and we'll focus on Lorsan, Bernard, and Troxel again.
Yep.
So, you sit down with her once you guys have got in the room.
So, I'm a little bit concerned. You had a way out. You had a way out of what you were calling a problem. What made you hesitate?
It was a couple of things. First one is just I don't feel comfortable being around those people.
The clergy?
The high clergy, yeah. She reminds you. She basically tells you that it's the biggest problem is like just her not doing well with high class people like that, especially with everything she's gone through and where she comes from and things that her people have suffered and that kind of stuff. So she just feels uncomfortable overall with those kind of people.
Quite comfortable with me, and you know my secret now.
And she goes, yes, but you are not like the others.
I can concede that.
She was like, you're nobility and you love money. Obviously, everyone does, but you're not parading around flaunting your wealth. You're not dressing in the finest garments. That's all I could see when I saw their archbishop. I don't know. I guess that kind of thing just doesn't feel real to me.
And no, the clergy are usually good people. Yeah, you do got some money-hungry people in the clergy, and I know they do dress rather fancily for, you know, the average human being. But they did want to help, so there was something else that was stopping it. If you don't mind me prying a little bit.
She tells you she was scared. Scared for 2 reasons. So okay, so there's 3 points. Two of them are out of fear, and one of them is out of contemplation. The first fear is that she was afraid that she wouldn't be of use to you guys, as her tween has essentially done a higher job at keeping everyone alive, because she's even if your group has noticed it, and she speaks to you specifically because you're always in the front line. She says that she has always paid attention and has noticed many times when an attack might have landed, but her tween moved in and pushed them out of the way, or grazed you instead of doing a heavy strike. And she is worried about what might happen if that's taken away. The second fear is just she doesn't know what would happen if the tween is taken away. She's been bonded with it for so long, she's not sure if it's reversible, and she's afraid of something happening to her or someone else if it's removed. And then the third point, the contemplating one, is she's been with this tween for so long, and she's always viewed it as a curse because no one would ever come near her, because their life becomes miserable around her. Nothing works, no one can hunt. But you guys not only stick with her, you interact with her as if she's a real person going through a hardship instead of someone who's cursed, someone who should be avoided. You talk to her, you eat with her, you fight with her. She tells you that her family from before, the Bandit clan, abandoned her because of what happened, and you guys have stuck by her side all this time. Tween is a curse in that regard, but it has also acted as a companion sometimes. She tells you that there was a reason, the only reason she knew about mummies and what to say was because this tween had told her. It knows a lot of stuff, and it speaks and acts in order to protect her. And she's not sure anymore if she wants to let that go.
So you finally got presented with an out, and you're realizing just now that it's brought good to your life.
Pretty much, yeah. But at the same time, the only reason she's even considering that is because there are people in her life who are sticking by her side despite this thing.
It's your choice what you do. If you want to get rid of it, get rid of it. I'm not here to tell you that you should keep it or you should get rid of it. You're welcome to travel with us even after. It's just gonna be different. Like something is no longer there that used to be there. Like you said, you've been bonded with it for so long, I can only assume that it's close to being a part of you. It's going to feel like you're cutting part of yourself out at times. If I could advise you, do what your heart wants. we're still gonna be here. You're still welcome to travel with us. God forbid. We could always use the traveling companions. I mean, you got Lorsen, who's not really much of a talker. You got Bernard, who goes invisible half the time. You got and then me and Troxel butt heads as much as possible. I could always use a good conversation.
Roll a persuasion check.
I ain't trying to persuade her for shit. I'm just telling her the truth.
No, I get that. But this is like your version of like a. Go ahead, roll that.
It's some pretty good advice, though.
It really is. Yes, that's why I'm having him roll.
I rolled a 10.
Oh no.
Roll advantage.
Advantage on this.
Yes.
Okay, that's a 90.
Okay.
See, that 90 sounds about right as to how you phrase it and how it impacted her. So.
Grimshaw, uniquely human in action.
Yep. She ponders for a little bit, and then she asks you if she can have some time to think. And when she says it, she's like, "Can I have the room by myself for a bit so I can think about this?"
All the time you need. I'm gonna go to the bar. See if they got anything good here. When you're done talking to your friend, by all means.
Yep. With that, Grimshaw walks out of the room.
And goes drinking.
Well, we'll get back to Grimshaw in a bit.
We're gonna get Grimshaw to that point where he breaks the fourth wall, I swear. One of these days!
Alrighty. So, where are we stopping to get the license or stop by the library?
Library first. License is going to be at my home, basically.
Bernard, since the guards aren't following you anymore, you could probably drop the invisibility and continue on with them.
Okay, so you guys see Bernard appear.
Cool. Just pop into existence.
Well, no, I would say he goes into an alleyway and then pulls off the spell and then walks out.
Yeah. I kind of disappear into an alleyway.
It'd be very bad if you just popped into existence in the middle of a crowd.
Yep.
Alrighty. So you guys enter the library, and the person just looks up and says, "Excuse me, this is private library. You cannot." The guards are like moving in to stop you guys, and they're like, "You cannot come in here. I'm sorry, you have to leave." And then Troxel walks forth, and they're like, "Troxel, welcome back."
Thank you. We need to do a little bit of research. This is Lorsen. He will direct your help for us.
She looks at Lorsan and just kind of goes,
Got a problem with that?
"Are you certain, Sir Lord Troxel? You sure
He's
this
not
I am.
here, Lord Troxel?
Lord Troxel!
She looks back at Lorsan looking like he's like a roach that walked into the door, and she's like,
Are you deaf?
So
very well, Lord Troxel, very well.
What do you need, Lorsan?
Well, I was wanting to see if they had any books on the Fae. Or if
We
they
have
have anything that can tell us where Blaza Costello went.
Don't think they'd have that.
So we have two questions. The Archmage Costello has disappeared. Do you have any writings or books which may suggest some history about him, which may suggest some place for us to look?
I told you
Like-
who you guys have to talk to.
And then secondly,
Okay, Troxel, wait. Bernard, what was that?
I told you guys. I know who we had to talk to find out who might know where Violet Costello is.
Well, yes, but like doing some research about like ley lines and that sort of stuff might be also beneficial too.
That is true.
Okay.
Any research into what Costello was researching will be beneficial in finding him.
Okay.
But don't forget, Bernard doesn't know what he was researching, so.
No.
True.
Okay, so
But that's also why we're at
give me the topics that you're looking for. Like, what are you specifically searching for? So, like, for example, Laura Sam mentioned ley lines. What else are you guys looking for?
the ancient.
Faye.
Okay, what about... Okay, you've mentioned Fae multiple times. What about the Fae are you trying to find?
Well.
If you want, you can send me a
or
message
sometimes
if
they
you want it
can't
to be
be
private.
killed.
If you want it to be a
Yeah, I'll
private...
send you a message.
Yeah, there we go. So besides the Fae and the ley lines, what are you guys looking for?
I'll look again. Like I said, more history on the Archmage Costello. Places
Okay.
he had been
So you're looking
in
for...
his,
So you're looking for a biography.
biography, history.
Okay. So... Troxel, go ahead and roll for intelligence as you look for that.
It's sorted by the
only,
Dewey Decimal System.
only a 12.
Roll to 12.
Yep.
Alright, so... Let's see here.
Do they not have magical computers that have a decimal system in it?
Is Lyrian with us too?
Lyrian's with you, yeah.
Okay. Maybe some books on undead.
That would also be good because we do have a promise to take on some high-level undead in the future.
Because, well, they seem to be avoiding the Lyrian in one of our earlier fights. I think we'll also be curious as to why they might be doing that.
Okay, so... Okay, so I need to know, who's looking for which book? So Troxel's looking for one on the history of the Archmage. What book is everyone being assigned? So, like, Lorsan, are you looking for the Fae book and giving someone else the task of finding the ley lines, or, like, what's going on?
I'll be the undead.
Okay, so Bernard's looking for the undead.
Yeah. Lorsan's mainly just looking at Fae.
Okay, which
I
means
guess if
Lyrian can
Lyrian
look...
wants to look for undead, yeah.
Well, no, like, Bernard's looking for the undead, so she'll look for the ley
Oh,
lines.
okay.
So everyone roll
Gotcha.
your intelligence check. Troxel already got yours. You're set.
I'm writing my message to you, Christian.
Yep. Bernard, roll an intelligence check.
Grimshaw gets to play on his phone. Oh,
And drink beer.
Yeah, that's all Grimshaw's doing. Hang on, I gotta pull out my tablet.
17.
17? Alright. You do find a book on the undead. It is not in depth. It's only just like a couple of mentions, a few vague details about these undead, but and you can't tell if it's you're not gonna be able to well, you can roll a monster lore to try and determine folklore, but differentiate folklore from fact if you want.
Okay. What do I need to roll for that?
Monster lore.
Monster lore. Okay, I gotta get a 1 to 4 on D100, right?
Yep. I got it to you.
Okay.
I'm so close I can taste it.
D100, right?
Dang it. 32.
What? 32. So 5, 10, 15, 20. So no, that's a fail.
Okay.
That's a 82.
For Lorsan, for you, I need an intelligence check to find the book you're looking for first.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Intelligence.
While you're rolling, because Troxel was the first one who did this. So Troxel, you did find a book with a couple of historical things, and as you're going through the various pages and the various documents and books, one of them you find kind of mentions how before he was the Archmage of the country, he was essentially a he was essentially a folk hero. He went through the land, kind of like taking out certain monsters that that was, threatening the kingdom. It mentions
Which
that
land are we talking about? Alverdan?
Alverdan, yeah. It mentions that at one time he helped take down a dragon.
Okay.
Bernard,
Yes.
you see a couple of well, let me pull up the list. Alright, you see a couple of names of different monsters, and you have like these drawings and sketches, as well as different like random facts about it. I will not tell you any of these facts because you're not able to differentiate between folklore and real. So basically, anything you know out of character might be something that you read about in the you might have come across in this thing. So you won't know what's real and what's not. You just know like general lore about these things. But you come across like different types of undead, such as zombies, skeletons. You see ghouls. There's ghast mentioned, but there's not as much information as ghast as ghouls. You see like what do you call it? You see ghost, haunt. What do you call it? You spot shadow. That kind of stuff.
Okay. Is there any way for me to get a better understanding of these things?
Again, the reason I made you make that roll is because if you'd succeeded, I would have been able to tell you certain facts about the monsters, but otherwise, no. So that's why I'm saying, for the names of these monsters, only use your in real life, like your out of character knowledge of folklore of that kind of stuff, because not all that is accurate. But you don't know that.
Yeah. Yeah, okay.
All you know is what you've encountered and what you've read in this book.
Okay. Okay. Just.
Like, if you eat the mommy's bandages, it's actually an aphrodisiac. I mean, what? That wasn't something they did in England. No!
Okay, zombie. That's a ghost. Ghouls.
And Lorsan, what'd you roll for intelligence?
I got a 13.
Okay. So unfortunately, you didn't really find anything except for like a child's book on, like a children's reading book on the Fae.
You'll never learn how to kill these Fae.
I need a drink.
I will say this: the children's reading book is like one of the things that it comes like one of the stories is like this man whom the Fae try to trick into breaking the rules, and he doesn't break the rules.
He does or does not?
He doesn't break the rules. He outsmarts the Fae. It's a children's book. Of course he wins.
Outsmarting the Fae is easy. You just have to be incoherently honest. Let them have your name, didn't you?
All right, so Lyrian, let me make her roll now. asks Troxel for guidance and, hey, do you have any charts on, like, the ley lines in this place, or... 'Cause I can't find anything.
Would you like me to roll on that or not?
Go ahead and make a roll.
That was a cock die, but I'll call it a 20 anyhow.
That's okay, this is an easy roll. Oh, if you got anything higher than a 5, you would have succeeded in that roll. So, but yeah, you're just kind of like, oh yeah, hold on a second, 1 second. And you kind of like walk over to the exact bookshelf you need to be, like bring over the ladder, climb a little bit, pull out a book, give it to her.
Okay, I do that.
She looks over the chart, she looks over the map and the different charts and all that kind of stuff in it. And does anyone want to look at the charts while she's looking at them?
Sure, I will.
I'll do it.
If you were there.
I know, I'm being sarcastic again.
Well, I'm done, so I'll do it.
Okay, I'm going to put the image in the Discord chat, and then I'm gonna upload the image for the audience to see. So give me 1 second while I get to them. You guys have just oh lord, stupid. I hate it when I try to pull up a map and then Discord's like, hey, you aren't paying us money, so you can't, you know, upload this image. Because too big, apparently. So, screenshot. Okay, this is the chart of the ley lines for you players, and I'll pull the image up on here.
Looks like there's one point in Alberdan where they all cross each other. Like smack dab in the middle.
I'm sorry, where is it?
It's in the MC
MCMG's
Images
chat.
channel.
Didn't we already have that image? Or is that a different image?
MC Image.
That's a
I
different
think
one.
We already had it. in
Oh
there.
yeah, you're right. We already did. Hold on. Do I already have
Yep.
it in here?
Yep.
Yes.
No, I'm trying to find the on here. No, okay. So I don't have the ley line map on here. So I'm going to I still have to pull it up for the players, for the viewers to see. So give me 1 second. Okay.
So they're right in the middle of Alverdon.
Well, keep in mind, because it's so zoomed out, you're not going to get an exact point. You need to have a Alverdanian ley line map.
Oh yeah, but it's
Yeah,
still
but that's
somewhere
a
in the middle of
convergence.
it. Yeah.
That is a convergence right there.
Uh-huh.
1,
In
2,
Alberdan.
3, 4 lines, maybe 5 or 6.
What? Hang on, never mind.
This is
That's
what they're
not
talking about,
included.
people. Right
I see
here.
1, 2, 3, 4. Technically 4 intersections, which would be 8 lines.
It's a lot of
Yeah.
ley lines. It's like all of them. All the lines.
Yeah, both.
Between the B and the E. It's between the B and the E.
Again, it's not going to be accurate for the Alverdan world. That's why you need
All
a
we
second
know is
map for
that-
Alverdan.
Is
So
that
let's-
somewhere in Alberdan?
So we must go there and find what's hidden there.
My guess is he's going to be at that convergence, which if we look at the Alverdanian map, that convergence is probably going to be around Gloom Peak Mountain. There's a ruin right above it.
So do we have
Larry,
it?
where do you think this is?
She shrugs and goes, I don't know. This isn't very accurate. We need a map of Alverdan with the ley lines over them.
Well, can we get one of those?
She looks at you and says, she explains to you that like ley line maps for specific areas are far more rare than a ley line map of the country. So it's gonna of the world. So it's gonna be a lot harder to do that. It's not impossible, but it's gonna be harder to
I'm gonna
get
go
one
and-
of those maps.
I'm going to go and ask the librarian if we have any more specific maps, and if not, I'm going to make that a quest to draw those ley line maps.
Okay, so number one, she
Ley
says.
line maps for at least our area.
Number one, she says no, we do not have that. Number two, she says the only one who would have the know-how to do that, to make a country ley line map, would probably be Vlaza Costello. She said the last we heard of him, he went
Why?
to talk because he's the only one who knows enough about magic stuff to know about the ley lines and where they would specifically run through. She said that the last they heard of him a couple months ago, he came to speak to the head of the Candle House and then left, and they hadn't heard from him again.
Okay.
Yeah, most of the
And
people-
one other final question for, do you know what type of magic you need to find ley lines and to...
She gives you that do I look like a person who'd know that information kind of look.
No, it's a library of information that Archmage Costello might have. He might have left a pamphlet on how to find ley lines.
No, he didn't leave anything for them.
Okay. Did he leave a book called "To My Future Apprentice: How to Become an Archmage"?
She kind of like stops and just. No.
Archmage for idiots, maybe?
That's it.
She's like, I don't mean any offense, Mr. Troxel, but I imagine anything, if he had any kind of book like that, it would be in his weird island up there, not down here.
I was just asking. By the way, let me introduce you to Lyrian. She's the daughter of Archmage Costello.
She doesn't outright say it, but the way her expression screams is like, "Oh Lord, they're breeding."
No.
And she's just like, "I see."
Oh, I have to
I
go.
thought people
Yeah,
did like
have
that
it.
books.
Back.
Okay, bye. All right, yeah. So that's the book hunting.
You'll want to get a drink.
Speaking of
I need one.
Grimshaw, how many drinks are you in?
What am I drinking?
Well, nothing dwarven,
Yeah.
nothing super
Aw,
strong
sad.
like vodka or anything like that. There, like you have like meads, ales, a couple of wines available to you.
You know, it's really,
Beer.
really hard to find good dwarven-made products in this country. Like, what is the problem here?
Guys, just you hear behind you as someone says like, "Well, they used to have some dwarven goods, but the dwarves eventually all left." Looking around, you see a oh my lord. Okay, so when Troxel was walking in, his screen lagged for a moment, and when it resumed, I just saw him like zip right over.
Phenomenal.
But
He teleported.
you turn around, and you see a well-dressed bard. A bard that looks familiar.
Hey, Chief! Been a
His-
hot minute.
Yeah, he grins and goes, "Yes, it has. I imagine you have a couple of stories. Fun trip."
Nah. Unfortunately, our trip's been mostly quiet thus far.
He doesn't believe you.
I mean, believe me or not, I'm telling the truth.
That's all I can tell you, man. I wish I could tell you some fantastical story about me beating somebody's knees in, but
Oh man.
well, like you said, all the dwarves got ran out of this country, and I can see why. I think this scorpion went bad.
So
I
he's.
did not have the same taste as the last one I had.
Oh no.
I think I literally just said I think the scorpion went bad.
Well, don't forget that there's
Is
like
it
a 30
possible?
second delay between us and her comments. So.
I know.
But anyways, so. What do you call it? He says like, yeah, that's one of the things I kind of wanted to learn about, dig up, maybe write a few songs about it.
What about the adventures of Grimshaw, the ass-kicking dwarf?
He's like, I mean, if you create some stories, I'd love to write the songs for you. But no, I was talking about like the dwarves leaving the country. Maybe some other stuff we might find along the way.
So what do you know about it? I mean, from my perspective, I know why they probably left. I mean, taxes be damned.
He's like, oh, you don't know. Makes sense.
No,
They try to cover it up, but
Oh?
it's like, yeah, this country always tries to make themselves look like the good guys.
Oh, what do you know about it?
It's like, nothing I can talk about in private.
Yeah, you mean in
But
public?
in public, yeah. It's like, but maybe, I don't know, if we're traveling together, I can tell you.
Ooh. Do we get a bard?
We might be getting a bard, guys.
Hey!
listen, Dandelion.
Dandelion.
What's one more fellow on our wonderful group of people traveling? Besides, having the music on the road will make things a little bit more pleasant for traveling. I'm sure you can pull your own weight.
I do my best.
Not only that, you probably gather information better than half the people I work with.
You hear, oh yeah, I almost forgot to say, your mimic is a hat right now that's on top of your head.
Fantastic! I love it.
And, your
Top
mimic whisper, no, not a top hat. It's a peasant,
Oh.
it's a peasant's hat. The hat,
No, make it a top hat. That'd be
no,
great.
top hats don't exist.
Yes. So,
So they
That's
don't
a
exist. It doesn't have. It needs to know about something that exists in order to shape into that thing. The mimic cannot break the fourth wall.
Cavalier's hat.
Okay, I think I do it.
Giant, fucking wide-brimmed Cavalier's hat, feather and all.
But anyways, you hear the hat whisper to you, like, speaking of information, I smelled some really good food in that sewers, and I really would like some of that.
Do you remember how to get there? Because they didn't blindfold you. They only blindfolded me.
I can lead the way there. As long as you give me that food, I don't care.
We'll get you that food in a little bit.
And you hear it like you hear him finish with saying like I'm gonna taste that lizard man meat yet.
Lizard man.
Yes.
Hey, what's up?
So yeah, lizard man. He wants lizard man for food.
Fantastic. Does the bard catch any of the conversation I had with it?
He doesn't catch what the mimic's saying because it's whispering, but he does notice that you're talking to the air, and he's just kind of like waiting patiently.
Sorry about that. I had a friend chime in.
He's like, I noticed. What were you and this mysterious friend talking about, if I might ask?
Call it information gathering.
Oh?
So, let's just say it's probably my best source of information when I can provide him with his payment.
Is there any way I can help with this payment?
I don't know. How good are you in a fight?
He's like, well, shows you his rapier and says, I'm decent in a fight, but my specialty is more in regards to, he kind of like drums his fingers on a flute and goes, more mental prowess, if you will.
Magic. Gotcha.
I love how Grimshaw's running into every magic caster there is in existence.
He's come to terms with it at this point, and for some reason they flock to him. In the droves, because they know that he's not gonna care that you cast magic. He's gonna care if you're actually useful. Yeah, at this point it's...
Oh, man. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and end the session there.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
So did I miss anything?
You guys have a new recruit.
A bard?
Your bard, yeah.
We have a bard.
So I gotta. All you're missing now is a druid.
Yeah.
No.
Or
No.
and rogue.
You're missing a cleric. is what
I'm not
you're
rogue,
missing.
but
Well, you have a paladin who's like part cleric. So, anyways, I'm gonna give you guys your XP real quick.
okay.
Okay.
I cannot roll that much this time.
Hello,
Yeah, give me 1 second.
Barb.
Y'all are getting a lot more experience than I am.
Be right back.
It had a weirder aftertaste. I'm like afraid to actually bite into it now because the tail had like this weird aftertaste to it that wasn't the same as the last one I had.
They may not have gotten all the venom out.
Okay.
It does not look like they got all the venom out.
Yeah, I would not risk eating it.
If your tongue all of a sudden start to go numb, you might want to go to a hospital.
Nah, my tongue hasn't gone numb yet. They
Keyword.
cut off the stinger, so there's... They cut off the stinger. That's what they always do when they put it in.
Okay.
But it was nutty and then had like an off flavor to it. Almost like it wasn't preserved properly before putting it into the lollipop. I mean, the rest of it was good. The legs were good.
And then next session we get to
Yeah.
follow Bernard.
Yeah, Pam, I'm disappointed that Dahlia wasn't able to make it either. She had an appointment and went longer than she expected, so she wasn't able to make it, unfortunately.
Yeah, I'm almost done. Yeah, that would be nice. No, save the water for the gravy.
Mashed them potatoes.
What you making?
Mashed potatoes, clearly.
Yep.
What were you saying, Christian?
I was just saying, like, Dottie was, she had an appointment. She essentially had an appointment that went overdue and took longer than she anticipated it would. Lucian.
Yeah, like the clothes are fine. You know what it is? Have you ever grilled lettuce?
No.
No, I haven't had grilled lettuce.
So there's like a way you grill lettuce. So there's a way you grill lettuce that like it actually comes out really like almost like a nutty flavor. I think it's like romaine lettuce that you do it with, and it has to be like super fresh. But you grill it for like 15 seconds on each side just so it gets that char.
Yeah.
But then it has like that same flavor. The scorpion has that same flavor.
Okay.
But then there's like a secondary off flavor to it.
You guys ready?
Yep, sure.
Yeah.
Okay, Grimshaw, you got 1,930 XP.
Woohoo!
Lorsan, you got 3,500 XP.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a lot.
You guys juked 20 odd people.
That's a good point.
Troxel, you got 3,490 XP. Bernard, you got 3,455 XP.
Unbelievable.
A lot of that XP came from, what do you call it? It came from partially defeating the Warlock.
Okay. Shoot! Oh, she was a warlock.
Oh,
Yeah,
but
Void.
he-
Void Bolt, yeah, that was a dead giveaway.
Well, but I mean, we didn't kill her. She escaped though.
That's why I said partial defeat. You
Okay.
partially defeated her.
And most of my experience just came from talking.
You guys want to know how much XP you would have gotten if you had, like, completely defeated her?
Yes, I would.
About 10,000.
From her alone, you would have gotten 3,764 XP.
Wow.
Okay.
From her alone. You also got partial XP from a fighter, and then full XP from 2 lower fighters, and then the rest of the group.
So, Christian, could I have a D4 hit die roll? I'm leveling. Just.
Okay, that's a good point. What are your total XP right now, guys? Like, as of right now, what is your total XP?
Mine is 5580.
I don't need that. I need like 5,300, that kind of thing.
5580.
55. Yeah. So
5,580.
5,580.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
I am nowhere near that.
No, that's not right. Because,
No, because
when you guys so Troxel, I don't know if there's a miscommunication or missed numbers or anywhere, but after the Briar Glen module, I told everyone that you guys were going to be level 5 from that, like, starting then, and we're using the new table. The new table states that you start out that level 5. You have to have level 5 is 8,000 XP, and level 6 is 1,300. 1,300. 13,500 basically is what that is.
So
we
basically,
weren't
we
even
need
level 5,
1,000
we
to
were
level up.
4?
One person at a time. Lorsan, what?
I was just explaining that basically we need 8,000 XP to level up to level 6.
No,
No, you need 5,500.
correct.
Which would mean that he did level up. Because based on how much we've gotten since then, he'd be about there. Say he got 5,500 from that 8,000. Would be about the 5,500 he'd need to
I'm
level
totally
up.
confused.
You're fine. You did by what you said. You did level up. It was 5,500 extra from the 8,000 from from getting to level 5.
Well, yeah, because like,
Can you
okay,
pin the XP chart?
yeah, I can do that real quick. Let me copy and paste it real quick.
Well, it says
Okay.
in-
I'll send the chart after we're after the live stream is we've closed it. But again, to clarify, what happened was everyone's XP got reset to 5,000 after Briar Glen was ended because we were using the new table after that, and I was setting everyone's levels to level 5.
Which would be 8,000.
Yeah, 8,000. My bad. And then after that, every session using the new table that we've been using thus far, that's the XP you've been adding onto that 8,000.
Considering they all got almost 3 times as much experience
Oh,
as
no.
me this round,
Yeah, no,
they should all be leveling up.
I agree. I'm just saying, like, I'm like hearing the numbers being off. I want to clarify what we're doing real quick, and then after we close the live stream, we can work out the numbers and make sure everyone's on track. If I need to, I can look through all the live streams and make sure, like, I give you guys the total of XP you've gotten since. But
So let me just be clear. I reached the next was 5,501 experience points, which I've exceeded by 79. So the question then is, what's the next amount of experience that I need to go to 7th level?
okay, so you're telling me the amount of XP needed for next level, not the total XP.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. In order to get from level 6 to level 7, you need another 9,000 XP. Your total XP will need to be 22,500 in order to be level 7.
Okay, so I put down for next 9,001 experience points. Okay, so I still need a D4 roll, please.
You can make that roll yourself if you want to.
Well, when I make a good roll, I just like other people to make it.
Okay. Do you want me to roll gemstone dice or metal dice?
I don't care. Just a D4.
3 HP.
Great, thank you.
Solid roll.
If anyone else is not sure if you leveled up or not, we can take care of the level ups after. Or we can do them here if you're certain you have, which I'm pretty sure you guys have leveled up by this point.
I'm
I'm
gonna wait until
close.
after.
What, Bernard?
See, I'm close.
Grimshaw, have
I'm
you
the
leveled
only
up or?
No, I've only gotten 2,414 experience.
Okay. I wasn't sure.
Remember, I only got 1,000 this time. They got almost 4,000 each.
I just had to double check.
I know for a fact that
All right.
I'm not leveling up at the same level as them.
There you go.
That's also because I chose to go by myself.
Alright, so that pretty much concludes it. We only have 5 minutes left, so unless anyone has anything to talk about, we can
Yeah,
go
I
ahead and
do.
wrap this up.
We're playing on April 26th
Do. Yes, the 26th.
at 3 o'clock, at 5 o'clock.
5:30.
Eastern Standard Time. Yeah, 5:30 Eastern Standard Time. I will see you then. Thank you very much, Christian. Thanks, everybody.
Bye, Tom.
Well done, Lorstan. Well done, Bernard.
Seriously,
Thank you.
you guys did an amazing job. Well done.
Yeah, that was top tier work.
Alright. Lopach, everyone.
Good night, all.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night, Tom.
I can hear the whispers in my sleep, the voices telling me this should be mine. You claim you trust me. You think I don't see the doubt behind your eyes. I'm gonna build me an empire, and it's lonely at the top. But madness and greatness can both share a face, and nobody will ever convince